There's what, 20, 25, 180. The new donation system started, so donate 3 times fast. Broken? Do I need to I must need to restart. Do I need to go ping people? Back from Twitch vacay? I was around. There was nothing to do. On top of that, I also had holidays and shit going on. What's up, Caution? What's up, JD? Once we figure out what this says, we'll ping people if that's the case. See if we can help people get stuff. So that means that we can't buy war stuff anymore either, right? Is a little interesting. That should be gone. Hmm. War stuff is still there. Well, that's good. I actually hope they keep it that way. Don't know if they will. On the Bears chat, we'll get very ready to ping. My boxes still had old stuff. And my boxes looked like new stuff, but they were broken. They were grayed out, so we're refreshing. Trying again. I've been kind of out of the loop as far as most stuff going on. Also, I did the freaking breaker event again offline. Want to probably kill myself. Probably shouldn't say it on stream, but you know, that's how I feel. It was really not fun. Uh, what's up, Magnetic? How's it going? So we might have a video today. That's kind of fun. I wasn't expecting to do anything like that. I was planning on working on stuff for later in the week. Kind of something to do. Go. Okay. Saying the donation thingy has changed. Oh, let's see if I can get there from the other way. That's the same thing that happened to me last time they tried to go live with this crap, right? Like that direction didn't work, but it works from the command center. Maybe it works in the command center. There we go. What is this? Donate again. I can just click it 3 times. Okay. What's the new video going to be about? Well, there's a few things I'd like to cover. If this thing's live, we'll talk about that. If I want to talk about the battle pass because I do think I'm gonna buy that. And then I also probably want. There's 2 videos I want to make this week. I want to make one. Well, I guess 3 videos, which is a lot for me. I don't normally make 3 videos in a week. I want to cover Battle World. I want to make sure people have the plan for Battle World, which my old videos very much suffice, but we'll do it again because they've done really well and people seem to watch them. So great. Because I want people to get Maestro shards, right? Maestro. I'm terrible at saying the name. Um, I'd like to cover war defense because I think people are doing garbage things in war. Um, I wouldn't hate covering war defense, but I might regret that. I haven't decided if I'm doing that video or not. Maestro, same thing. I mean, and the reason I know why I do that is because, and maybe I've always said it wrong, but I've always thought of as Maeve, like from WoW, as Maeve, right? With a like a low sound. I've never thought of her as like Maiev or whatever the heck people call it. Maeve, how do you spell it? Mavie? I don't know. Maeve, wow. How do I spell it? Maiev. I've always thought of her as Maeve, but maybe because she has the weird I in there that makes it Maeve. I don't know. And that's what always makes me think of it. Maiev. How do you say her name? Find out. Find out if I'm just a dumb shit. Alright, well, let me just copy the front half of that. How do I say this? Maiev. And I've always said it as Maeve. Which means I'm a dumb shit. It's okay, I'm a dumb shit. Maiev. I've always said it as Maeve. It's always been Maeve to me, and it's been Maeve for freaking 15 years, which is why Maestro is the way he is. I now understand why it's wrong, but you know. I am so screwed as far as like this. They need to give us cores. I need cores badly. Not because I need cores, but because I have freaking 4 million of this garbage currency. I don't know what to freaking do with it. I've just been buying stuff. Like, I guess I could buy these two bozos. I don't know. Literally start buying everything at the bottom. Uh, yeah, I have a month. I should be okay. And we should get Toxin, which will help. I have 2 videos to make this week. What do you mean, Herb? I made 2 videos this week. Oh, and I also have the Blade Tower, but we won't do that till the weekend, probably. Because I'm always slow. And I'm just going to accept that I'm slow at that stuff. What are you talking about? What do you know that I don't know? I'm also expecting to announce the raid this week. We'll see if I'm right, which could mess me up too, because I will jump on the thing that makes sense more than the thing I want to make, which is why the war video gets always shoved to the back. Raid is 2 weeks out. I could see that. Well, I think they announce it. I do agree with you. I think it's further out. I think it's actually further out than 2 weeks. I think it's more like a month. We'll see if I'm right though, because the way that they described it in that blog, they kind of made it sound like this team goes to the conveyor belt raid first, right? And because it goes to the conveyor belt raid first, makes me think that that raid's not ready yet. On the books, but it's not there yet. Yeah, you're right. She will be definitely be after Jess is in the game. Well, I expect they'll announce the changes to the conveyor belt raid this week. Is probably what they announce, right? That's coming. That'll probably be in the blog, most likely, and then the trepidation raid itself won't be announced for at least 2 weeks. You're right about that part, if not longer. I'm thinking it's longer right now. I think they go. I think we play with them in the other raid first, because that's how they described it in the blog. Is that they're used for the annihilation raid, and then it goes to the trepidation raid when announced. I mean, didn't they release this previous raid before the full team was available? Um, so what happened last time with the Annihilation raid is you're right. They made the changes to the Annihilation raid prior to the team coming out. You couldn't do D10. Then you had like a month of waiting, which I honestly was a poor experience. I'm betting they decided not to do that. Because that just felt bad for everybody. And there's really no point to it. Like, oh no, I lost out on my half a gear tier 20 piece. Whatever shall I do? You bet the new raid has 21. Um, that is an interesting take. I don't know. Does the Annihilation raid have now? Nothing. I did the wrong one. So it doesn't have ISO at all. It just has gear. Gear makes sense. I think that's too much. I don't think they will. I could be wrong. I hear my phone ringing. Didn't get there in time. They're gonna leave a message. They're not gonna open the floodgates, but I think they're gonna do like 1.5k frags for 100%. Maybe. That still feels like they're gonna give too. That's too much for what they want to give right now. I mean, on average, how much are we getting a week right now? We're getting like very little, right? It's like 4 pieces here and there. Now, Danger Room did give us quite a bit, right? We got quite a bit from there. It was like 40 pieces or something like that. We're getting a little bit of trickle now from the event going on. Like we're guaranteed a little bit. I feel like daily or every couple days might be too fast for what they want. Maybe, but I do think you're probably right. It could be a little bit. Might be even less than people think. Did you get the Mystic from the store yesterday? Yes, I did. I pinged my alliance immediately. I'm very good about checking that stuff. Which is really good because I have so much of the other side of that one. I actually did my planner for it. I haven't shown you guys. More stuff we could talk about. There's so many things like I've been working on the sides that we just haven't really talked about. Planner. Like I did my planner as of right now, and my planner is so far off. Like roster. Oh, I need to go vote too. We need to talk about voting, and not the worldly voting. We don't want to talk about that part. So I did my planner, right? And I am so far off. Like, look at this crap. And it's bad. Like, it's like it's all in three sections. There's no tech and no freaking skill, and there's no tech or skill characters I even give a crap about. Zastin has become a political commentator. I would love to, but I think that would be a bad idea. You hope Rogue and Emma X win. Personally, I want to see X23 win Magnetic, only because I want to see if they're willing to give her unavoidable speed. I really want to see if they're willing to give her unavoidable speed. I'm gonna vote for X23. My plan. I think Rogue wins automatically. I would be happy if Emma X won, but I have a theory right now. I think if Emma X loses, somebody will get the speed stat stop on the team. I don't know who it is, but I think somebody will. I think it will be team tied instead of being open to everybody. And I think X23 gets unavoidable speed, is what I think happens. Could be wrong. I feel like they won't, and I'll be disappointed. And she'll get kicked off the team probably to do something like can't crit. but MX I know has value currently, and I want her reworked. Yeah, she is a really good character. Um, I'm totally stoked about her. Like I would gladly take Emma. I know it seems like people are really split on it, which is really interesting. I have a feeling a lot of people want different things. I've heard people saying Iceman, which is crazy. I'm like, really? I'm like, Iceman's the one I like. I'm pretty happy if the three middle ones win. I'm okay happy if Bishop wins. I don't want Iceman. Like Iceman can go to hell. He doesn't do anything. I'm voting for X23. Where my vote's going. I also like X23 a lot. Like she's always been a fun character. You see, and that's you might be more cynical than I am about it, Magnetic. I'm pretty cynical about the whole fan vote rework thing after their last debacle of reworks. Um, and I think you're like doubled down on the cynical is what it sounds like. Because I agree with you. I think they don't give them the justice they deserve, even though these are all iconic, amazing heroes, right? Like they all deserve to be a focal on the team. They're all that good, right? And whether they will actually give them that, I have a feeling they don't, right? Yeah, that's what I think too, Magnetic. Right. Emma X is not that. Oh yeah, Sauron's coming for sure. I guarantee it. Well, we already know it, right? I said this in my video earlier this week. He already won, right? He already won the poll, or he was on here. These two characters will come to the game. I bet you this year. I don't know when, but I do think they come. Just like these three characters came, right? And just like these three characters came, I think we get all of them. Um, Now these two I don't think come because I just don't think they put the same level of design into them to make them happen. Like it's mostly a pencil sketch, so there's just not a lot going on here. Now, I'm not saying they don't eventually come, but I am way less like positive about them. These two, on the other hand, they did the same level of art to them, right? They've already done most of the modeling to it, way further in the design process. That's why I think they do come to the game. Also, big name characters, right? I'm hoping for Rogue and X23 too, though I'd love to see Iceman rework. See, I think Iceman, what people want from Iceman is not this character. What people want from Iceman is a new Iceman. I think Iceman is a great character. He is awesome. He is a really cool character in the comics, and I'm totally down for an Iceman. But Scopely does not have a track record of making Iceman what he needs to be, right? Yeah, we need Omega level Iceman, not drop off the team Iceman. Exactly, guys. You guys understand, like Iceman won't. You know what Iceman's gonna look like? Here, I already know what Iceman will look like. You guys want to see it? There's already a character that's almost identical to him. You want to go see what Omega level or what an Iceman rework probably looks like? Hold on. We have gotten to use him in Crucible for a while. We don't use him in PvE, and his name is Daredevil. This is Iceman. Do you really want this guy on your team? I don't. He has an AoE nuke that slows people and does nothing. Right? He's just damage dealer. That is exactly what Iceman would be. I guarantee it. I wish I was wrong, but I know I'm not. Like he gets a revive on slow, he barriers himself, which makes him a little durable. He reduces armor. His turn one ult is an AoE nuke, right? That applies slow. Gives himself barrier. If they have slow, he puts stun on them. Like he is so not exciting. Let's look at his speed. Oh, he's 113. What says move him up to Daredevil at 123? Hmm. Seem a little familiar? Like it is so similar. Like I don't want Iceman. Could have a chill battlefield effect. He could, but he won't. Because that's not the level of reworks that we get anymore. Like Like, really think about it, guys. When's the last time they hard reworked a character outside of Omega Red? Can you name one in the last year? I mean, hard reworked, like new ability, new effects, new that things of that nature, right? Where they had to like actually go code the character, and not just like change a number. Their wording for rework is update stats. Ebony Maw. Did Ebony Maw have that much change? They took mostly shit away from him, right? I don't remember what Ebony got. Oh, I'm thinking get a reboot like the Storm and Blade, a whole new character. Yeah, yeah, exactly, Major. That's what Iceman needs. Um, Iceman, like, and here's the funny part about this whole deal. Why did the heck did they do this? Let's be real. You want to talk about the character that nobody gives a shit about? Here you go. We could have put Omega level Iceman in the game, or we could make Blade Mighty. Oh, this character is so lame. He's just lame. He doesn't do anything. He is like ridiculously lame. Like Blade, the original Blade is so good. Like if you wanted Blade to be on a new team, just update Blade, make Blade great again, put Blade on a new team. How hard was that? Instead, we made Minerva Blade. Except Minerva's like 4 times better than her than this guy. This guy is such a wimp. Oh, I do primary adjacent bleed damage. I remove stuff. I give my team speed up for turn twos and I heal people. Woo. I have defense up and safeguard. Woo. And everything else is locked. Like, I don't know what they were thinking with this one. Yeah, exactly. I agree, Magnetic. I think Original Blade is amazing. I think Blade Mighty is a terrible character. He's not exciting. He took like everything cool about Blade and just made him weird. I was about to type that he's ignoring us. What happened, Herb? If you do 4 notes in the hard tower, you can get him the 3 yellow. Oh, I know. I don't care. I know I can go get an extra star on him, but let's be honest, I haven't even used the character. um, I saw a picture of somebody with it, and I was like, I don't think I actually care to do that. Like, I'll get all the stuff. I'll be fine. Like, it'll when we get to using the character, it'll be fine. I was actually thinking about him a little bit for War, and I was like, is he even playable? And I kind of came with the answer, he's probably not. It takes 4 minutes. I get sidetracked and distracted. I can't help myself. Phoenix rework was big. Was Phoenix really that big? What did they do to Phoenix that made her like iconically different from her character? The team that she got around her was substantial, right? For Phoenix, but her like functionality really wasn't that crazy. I know they turned this into like a damaging ability, or this became her turn one, right? And it wasn't originally her turn one. Her turn one was originally this, and this became a damaging ability, which it wasn't originally. It does like the vacuum debuff thing, but it did that originally. It healed people originally. Like they tuned her up, but they really didn't like functionality change her that much, right? Like she's still pretty much the same character. Um, she is one of the few characters they didn't take her damage orders away, which is kind of interesting. Um, and her ultimate has some more functionality to it, but it's mostly related to the Phoenix Force characters with the revival and things. Um, I guess you could say this functionality was a pretty big sweeping change to her. I guess with the revive, but we mostly ignore it. This is like identical almost. I don't know. Like Phoenix, like I feel like it was a kind of a failed rework. Yeah, she does revive Omega Red. I will give you that. That was a pretty big functionality change to the character. And I guess I'm downplaying it a lot because honestly, she doesn't get to use it. Because like if we couldn't block the revive, that would be a pretty scary, like a big deal, right? Annie got a rework, went from little bug to difficult to kill. Yes, Annie is so freaking annoying. I still hate that character. I'm honestly amazed we made Annie. I'm being completely real here. Like I'm amazed we even made the character. He was so far off what I expected for this game. Like I never thought that they'd move the route of, well, the meta's just getting faster and faster, and we don't want to get faster, so we'll just go out of turn. Like what? What did you guys just do? So the new solution is just to have more out of turn. I'm surprised they still left him immune to exhausted. That would be a huge change. I know they've already talked about this, but he got hit with ads. Why did you decide to take on taking Blade, Mighty, and Symbiote 6 members to DD9? What do I even have there? I don't remember. I haven't made any decisions yet. I was just plugging stuff in, mostly. What are you guys seeing? The symbiote members, I was watching. So my thought process around the three symbiotes is they're probably three of the most like of three of the most of the highest characters I want to gear to 21 right now. And I was watching ZKG do his city section right on his stream, and he was doing pretty well with Venom, even with Venom like having being the only one alive. And I was like, that's kind of interesting. Blade Mighty is kind of durable, and he's low cooldowns, and he heals himself from bleeds, which again is Venom, right? Like leaning in on Venom. I don't know, Magnetic. That I don't know. So this is what I was thinking about. Is this a good decision? Absolutely not, because I have no freaking like I'm not using peace as well. There's no tech and skill characters I actually want to take. Could I plug in Hitmonkey? Sure. The first node's doable with anything. It just gets harder from there. Like I could very well be convinced to take Insidious. I just don't want to take Insidious, and I honestly don't even want to take Toxin. Like if I wanted to, I would love to just take like Hitmonkey or something. I don't know. I don't even like. I'm not against taking Hitmonkey. I have the gear for Hitmonkey. DD9 is changing now with the new tunes coming out. The original tunes people used in the beginning aren't the best anymore. You did Insidious 3 Hitmonkey Sable, and while it was a slog, it worked. So, and I'm okay with it being a slog because I'm so far off being able to like go in and do it well, which is why I'm like being kind of like slow about it. Um, and right now, I would say the two like there's a few characters I really want to take up. I did Insidious 3 Hitmonkey, sorry, Superior Spider-Man Hobo Vulture. I forgot Vulture is an I6. No, you're good. I took Vulture because he's uber cheap, right? Like he's my only Gear Tier 21 character right now that I've leveled. Um, he's the only one I've taken up. He's uber cheap, which is why I would put him in every single city section, like without like even a second thought. And he's tech, which is hard to use. I can get behind using Hitmonkey just because he's skill, like not, but he's not that like great of a character, right? I don't use him on defense or anything. Yeah, it's kind of the problem, right? And I don't disagree with you, Magnetic. Now, there is the opportunity to use some skill here. We could take this dumb girl, right? And that would be a way for us to use some skill and tech, which doesn't hurt my feelings. Like taking Kestrel probably is realistic. I've left her off the plan intentionally. She might be. I don't know. either way, I have none of either. Like, so it's not the end of the world to take her. What we have? My tech character's already maxed. My skill character, I think this is the only other skill character. So, like, my situation is really bad for tech and skill. I'm literally 3 attributes right now. And I don't even know if this guy makes it, but I do think he could make it because he gets durable. You can take Executioner, but I've heard he's terrible. I've heard he's really, really bad. And I've heard these 4 are okay. This guy makes a much bigger difference than Executioner does. The new items and donations reset. Oh. I can't get there, can I? Nice, we got an extra 50k goal. Let's go. Okay, so the box has changed now. So this is how we get our stuff. Doesn't feel laggy at all. And this takes cores. Ew. So we should hit this every day, right? So literally, if we want to refill our war stuff, how do we have to do it now? Because we go war on, war off, war on. We won't have enough to fill, right? That's 3 days. If you do it perfectly, you'll be at 600, right? I thought they were taking that away, though. I think that they said that that's not going to stay. Maybe they haven't done it yet, but they said they were going to take it away, right? It's leaving this shop. I haven't even bought mine. So is it literally asking your alliance to just like all like group core? And then you have to be careful about like over collecting. My chat box go. Well, I'm wondering if like it's one of those things where you have to like tell your alliance, hey, it's core day, and everybody donates cores if you want to like be competitive in war, which is kind of yucky, right? Like 1 day a week you have to core. Isn't that where? Wouldn't that be what it is? Or micromanagement bullshit? So 260. Let's do 260. Let's find out what that gets us. Oh no, you can do 260 times 3, right? 260. Oh, what is happening? Times 3, 780 times 24, 18,720. Was it super easy to get it now? It's 64,000. I think all of the boxes are super easy to achieve. Huh. So you can only donate 3 times, so if you want to core to donate, you can. Is there anything reason not to donate right now? Other than I'd like to get my donation back to where it belongs. she donated 380. How did she do 380? Oh, she did the core. She did one core. Our alliance about to have more levels again. What is this? That's interesting. They said it's vanity. Is it really? Or is it vanity for now? Huh. I mean, this is not that hard to hit, which is really nice. I mean, I can almost hit it by myself, right? On the first one. So let's just say 260 times 3 is 780 times 24 is 18,720. Divide that by 3 is 6240. Literally a third of your alliance donating gets you there to the last box. I think the blog says it's just a purely number go up thing. Maybe we'll go read the blog. Let's go look at the blog again. Big changes are coming to the Alliance donations, bringing new rewards, grander visuals, and smoother daily experience in more meaningful ways. Now, that is a pretty important word, right? A smoother daily experience is I wasn't expecting that with this system. So maybe they're trying to improve the daily life. That might be good. The update is designed to make every contribution count, whether you're helping your alliance hit milestones with new rewards or looking for a more flexible path to pitch in each day. The new donation system is built to be valuable for years to come, allowing you and your alliance to grow stronger together. Here's a quick rundown. You can now donate using shop credits, donation coins, new power cores. Donate up to 3 times a day. Refreshes are now automatic and free. Each donation coins by maintaining your 7-day login streak and commander level up. Deploy clear donation visuals and celebrations. Earn alliance levels past 80. Okay, so there's the 80 thing that they talk about. Let's take a look at the details. Gold donations are replaced. One of the biggest pain points of the old system was having to choose between improving your roster and helping your alliance. Gold's being removed, blah, blah, blah. This means the more players can contribute consistently without draining your core resources needed for roster growth. It's smoother, less stressful, and way to support your alliance each day. Step up donations. Each day you can donate up to 3 times. You'll receive their first donation bonus in the Alliance XP every 24 hours. Once you hit your daily limit, your donation button changes to donation max state. That means Alliance donation rewards, Jarvis Orb fragments, blah, 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 refills, and defense. As part of this change, war energy refills and war defense boosts will be removed from the special item store. This is what we were talking about. So they haven't done this yet. This should happen. They're supposed to remove this stuff. They just haven't done it yet. We'll have more updates on the Alliance donation rewards in the future, so keep an eye on the blog for all the details. That's a big line to me. That tells me there's more. This is only phase 1 of whatever they're doing. How the new system works. Head into the Alliance donation. You can donate 3 times per day. It doesn't tell us when, which it seems like we can just click the button, which is really nice. Each donation earns you Alliance XP, Stark Tech up until Alliance XP, Stark Tech points until removed Jarvis Orphan after you've maxed Stark Tech. Every donation triggers an immediate visual celebration upon updates your rank in newly visible leaderboard and fills your daily chest progress. Alliance levels break past 80, a badge of honor. The alliance cap is being removed, allowing your alliance to level up to past 80. Every donation pushes your alliance level higher, turning alliance level into a lasting symbol of your squad's strength, commitment, and coordination. The higher your alliance rises, the more it shows everyone just how far your team's willing to go. Okay. I can kind of get behind what they're trying there. All right. universal daily reset, which might be kind of nice for like recruitment things. We'll see how that plays out. Also streamlining how donation resets each player by player donation timers and old pay to refresh button. Each system has a universal daily reset at UTC 0 in line with the other game modes, something for every commander. There's nothing for me, but a quick note: Start Tech will be unchanged. New system and more updates arrive soon. Keep an eye out for new and improved Alliance donation on July 6th, and even more reward and updates integrated with the Alliance modes like raids are also on the way. Keep an eye on your weekly blogs. So this is interesting. And even more rewards and updates and integrations with the Alliance modes like raids are also on the way. Tells me that the donation system and raids probably play hand in hand, most likely. So I would definitely call this phase one. Storm's kit getting changed was not mediocre. Storm was like busted broken. She's really good right now. How you doing in Crucible this week? I haven't really had real matches, DNA. All my matches have been kind of meh. We had one real match against Gats, which was kind of fun. Early in the season, I didn't really have a grasp on the U32 yet, which sucked because I tried to be really defensive and I knew that was probably wrong, and Gats murdered the crap out of me. So kudos to Gats for doing that, which was not ideal. The rest of the matches of like I versed myself on doing the same strategy, which is like I intentionally lost. I versed G-Man who wasn't actually playing, and so it's been kind of whatever. But it was kind of cool seeing that he did this to me, which I thought was interesting. And I've also seen people doing it without it. And I've also seen, well, not that one. He also did this to my team, which I thought was interesting too. It kind of made me rethink the direction for at least this U32. I don't know how it's going to make me feel going into the next season, but I do think it was interesting seeing people murder my teams with this. So I was like, okay. Also, I don't know if there is a counter to the Blue Marvel one, which has been interesting. I haven't seen anybody put it up. I wonder how they'll stop Daring from working. Well, Daring might just lose the Blue Marvel. I haven't gotten the chance to try it. I really want to. Um, I want to try to slam Daring into the Blue Marvel one and see what happens. If they just die or not. You got 6 Gear Tier 21s from Bio? So what beats Exalted? I don't know. Well, that's what I want to try, Magnetic. I want to try Daring versus Exalted BM, but I haven't had the opportunity yet. I've had them on offense trying to like set it up, or like I want to if I see it. But I think Blue Marvel might murder them. There might just be too much damage. You're gonna try Mirror tonight. Have you tried this yet, DNA? With doing Daring into a Blue Marvel one? You haven't? Which I don't know if they survive this. That's the only thing that I was kind of concerned about. This was 37 turns, by the way. Ridiculous. But they did win, and it was a one-shot. My Daring Warriors, yeah, yuck, right. Oh, hey, Zastin's live. You've sacked with Immortal X-Men first? I mean, it's just tough. Like, you need a lot of, like, durable characters to even survive now. With the way they've made it. And Odin's Odin's no longer the answer, right? You wonder if they'll fix Eclipse's passive? Uh, I think they probably do here soon. Because I think this is the last run of the Breaker event, right? And then they can fix it. Yeah, probably they shouldn't. It's literally just daring out Derby. I'm sure what happened here, and I wish I could just click auto, but I'm betting this just lives until Angel falls off, right? Eventually, Angel's feather falls off, and daring just out sustains them. It's literally what happened here. I can almost guarantee that's what actually happened. I didn't actually watch this replay. Room 2, my exalted one-shot blue marvel daring. I mean, there's literally, like, they've kind of broken out everything that potentially could have worked, right? Now it's literally just you don't do damage, and they just sustain for forever. Angel going 3 turns is a long time. Yeah, it's a long time. 30 turns with Angel's Feather. I have a feeling that you could sack them into a cursed very easily. I've seen people do that prior to this change, but it's still a sack. Um, Non-sack versions, like, it's kind of difficult. I just don't know if it exists. I mean, really, what we need is a character that cleanses exposed, and right now that just doesn't exist. We have Odin, and Odin only does 1. Eventually, Angel died, and then they could kill things. I guess an anti-damage reduction would do it too, right? Which we also don't really have yet. The only anti-damage reductions has no chance of living in this room. So that would be another way to break this team. Does Daring have a damage reduction? No. They have the block thingy, right? Yeah, it's the block. So they got there. But Exalted would fall apart if they had like a damage reduction stop, right? We got one of those at some point. I've seen some pictures of that. That's kind of wild. I mean, Symbiote 6 as a whole is just kind of wild. They're pretty good. Um, I tried to beat Symbiote 6 with some dumb shit, and it was very not effective. I did try some things. Like, I only got to work with Mephisto. Like, my team got murdered here. Punching down, which was like, I was like, oh my god, that's not good. So it ended up becoming I just took the 2 best teams to offense and just kind of ran with it, which felt kind of bad. For me, I've been playing with Exalted and Daring on offense and just kind of being like, just running, clicking auto. I'm like, well, this was interesting, I guess. Demon Striker, Yo-Yo, APOC, IP, Havoc works. Which I think Havoc's gonna join the Damon squad pretty likely this season, in a few scenarios. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think the new team's gonna see any play in Crucible. I don't think. Who'd I go? Oh, I went against Buffalo Love, and Buffalo Love just didn't play. So that was Buffalo Love, and then this was me versus me, and then there was me versus Clune, and I've lost to Clune twice. I almost beat Clune, which was kind of funny. Clune has Annihilus, and so I ended up picking up a dub here. This room's actually really interesting, by the way. If people don't daemon it, they kind of learned that there's some issues here because of because of the safeguard stop or the safeguard in the trauma stop. They kind of do weird things, which is kind of cool. And then somebody tried to exalted my team, which my team's set up way more durable, with extra fortifiers and things like that. So they did not get it done, and they also don't have a monster-sized morph. Yeah, it would have been fun. If Dama is the first character to go in the round, he will not get offense up from the mind control. Funny symbiotes drop Venom from Oath on the symbiote Blue BMX beats them, but full symbiotes suck against Daring Warriors. Why Yo-Yo's there? Which I didn't do anything too crazy. I had issues beating this crap. This was not fun. I still suck at beating Annie. I hate that my Hobo Goblin doesn't have anything, and neither does my Dark Star. Both of them don't have diamonds of any like real merit. Venom stops it, right? And Venom just flat out stops offense up, period. You can't get it on spawn. Enemies cannot spawn with offense up. So yeah, if Yo-Yo goes, then the mind control, then you can get offense up. You kind of do some shenanigans. That makes sense. If Damon goes first, then the mind control is before the first turn, which is how it's coded. Oh, because it goes before the turn, right? That makes sense. That's why X can kill things before the turn happens. Which I don't think this team's gonna see play. I don't think. Amazing. I don't think we're gonna end up using this team in Crucible. Even though they speed stat stop stuff, like unless they're just end up being the filler team. But I don't see a world where we end up using them. I mean, I guess maybe there's a chance just because of like the dodgy crap, but I don't know. I mean, extra evades is like reduction in. I have a feeling this is a really offensive season. That's kind of my initial impression without like going through the room rules. I think this is going to be really offensive. Blaster, Thunderstrike, Spider-Man, Hulk, and Jeff does well on for offense. Um, I mean, you just said Jeff Blaster, Thunderstrike. That's pretty much an amazing offense. Period. So we'll be making some decisions. Man, did I get that? How's this going? So I did this over the weekend. 11. Oh, it's so painful. I don't want to do it again. People stop. Them not expanding this is terrible. Robert took one again. This is wild. These two have been fighting for it. I wonder if they'll go again. Right. Probably magnetic. Like, I've already done 2 runs. I don't like doing this. It's not that fun. It's so much work for my account to do it. Well, they didn't. They messed up. They should have expanded the rankings. The fact that this didn't move from 2 to 3 is bad. It's really bad. Why is there only 20 slots? And I agree, it is way too long. Like, the amount of people that have pushed this time versus last time is wild. We literally have. That is we have 24 people that have done max runs, just max runs, by the way, and then it's efficiency. So we've literally hit efficiency, and we've expanded out past the breakers, out past breaker, right? The breaker two diamonds. Like to me, that feels really wrong. I don't know. And there are people. I'm sure there's plenty of people that haven't pushed yet. And I might be able to do another run, but it's so much work. Well, that's my problem. Is like there's many aspects where I don't have enough damage to do it. It's not just Symbiote Quicksilver. It's Gearcher 21 and 5 diamond characters and Symbiote Quicksilver that I just can't compete. Like I know I can't. Like I don't have the account to compete. Which I didn't really want to compete for 5. Like I knew this wasn't realistic, right? Like 1 through 5 probably wasn't realistic. I didn't expect to compete. But I did think I could compete for this. Um, but the scoring this time around is so much higher than it was last time. Like last time, I think we had 3 or 4 people that did a max run. This time we have 24, right? Um, it's actually wild. I tried a full max on second run. The X-Men node is messing me up. It's not it's not easy. It's not easy to turn count either. Like the turn counting that goes into this to make it like legitimate. Like I have no idea how these guys are doing this, by the way. Like this is so many more turns than I'm capable of doing. Literally, they have another 75,000 score on me, right? Let's just do the math on that. We said it's about 500 points per. Let's just 75,000 divided by let's just call it 490. I think it was 490 is what we figured out. They picked up 153 turns over me. It's wild. Your 5.4 million run is ranked 1900 ish. Oh, they're using hacks and exploits. Kind of. I know what they're doing on some of it, Lord Richter. It's abusing very niche things to get a much better score. It's part of the reason why people don't like turn counting. I know what they do because I'm doing it too. It's the crappy part of like what. Do you guys know how to circumvent Vile Rally? I guess is a question I will ask, and we'll see if people know the answer because that is part of the answer. You have to circumvent Vile Rally as best you can, while also maintaining your energy and cooldowns and walking through the next nodes and not killing your characters. Which is very hard. Very hard. Last time you had a 5.4 million, you just finished outside the 2500. Yeah, I just used trauma. Okay, well, trauma's banned. Do it again. You're dumb. I use X in all nodes. Great. Well, let me know how that X goes when you only have he has like a 9 turn cooldown, right? You get to do that on a couple of those nodes. You get to use it a little bit, but not a lot. Oh, and then you have to have X's ability on very specific nodes, right? Yes, DNA. I think they're still broken. Um, I think Spider-Man still has a gigabillion health for war, and I'm pretty certain they haven't put the fear tag on him yet. I've been paying attention to that because I'm ready to switch my defenses, right? Oh, they fixed Spider-Man, but they didn't give him the fear tag? That's nice. Oh, it was just the one war? Yeah, they kind of screwed that up. Which is funny because we called it out immediately. Which tells me that they probably they have like a template that they use and they keep forgetting to add stuff to it, is my guess. Yeah, it was to the best buddy tag. I just assumed they'd fix both at the same time, but clearly not. Yeah, this team is extra squishy because they haven't given them their stats yet for fear, which is kind of wild. I don't think this team's gonna see play, guys. Outside of war, I don't know where this team's getting used. She hits like a she throws paper clips at people. Literally does nothing. So bad. Like this team is legitimately designed to be a turn two team. Without the durability of like Daring Warriors. Daring Warriors is the only team that they've actually made like into a turn two team, and yet this one's supposed to somehow be one. No, I don't think so. No way. What plug and play character do we use that is 123 speed, Lord Richter? I think he's way too slow to be plug and play. He could be plug and play if we at least made him like 126, 127, like somewhere in there. I think he has potential. At 123, I don't see it. I don't think so. Yeah, but plug and play, it sounds about right. I don't think we're gonna use this character. I mean, he does do some bleedy things, which is great, but I mean, most of his mechanics is built on him just letting things rot out, right? Which doesn't really happen. I don't know. He's a little durable. He gets to a second turn a little quicker. No, I don't think this guy's plug and play at all. Definitely want to know magnetic. If it's not, where do we find that information? I definitely want to know who's winning. Where's that poll? How do I find it? X23 in Rogue right now. It's not visible on the page. Oh, we got here. Choice 5 votes 2,900. Choice 4 5,950. Choice 3 2535. Choice 2 1960. Choice 1 1659. And I can figure out their choices based off this, I'm guessing. I'm guessing this is choice 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How do I know which one's which? Bishop's choice 1, MS choice 2, Iceman's choice 3, Rogue's 4, and X23's 5. I don't hate MX either. I'm totally down with any of the three. Any of the three ladies, I will take. I'm down with any of them. So choice 3 is pretty popular. You said, say, you said Emma's 2. Iceman's literally in third. X23 is second. Guys, vote for X23. Don't waste your vote on Rogue. Vote for X23. So you said 1 is Emma X. 1659. 2 is no Bishop's 1. Bishop 1, MX is 2. So MX is 1960. Iceman is 3. Iceman is literally 2,500 votes. That's crazy. What are people doing? Rogue is 4 and X23 is. Please, we gotta save. We gotta save from Iceman, guys. We gotta keep Iceman out of this. Vote for X23. We need to work at this, guys. I'm voting X23 every single time. There's no way people want Iceman. Like, what are we doing? I think Gambit's gonna be sooner than that. Time to log on Baby G-Man and vote Bishop. I need to go log on some other accounts. There's no way, man. Yeah, Iceman would be great if they completely overhaul him. Like, Iceman has potential on a new character. You love how Scopely sends the data to the browser so I can see it. Pretty nice of them, right? Oh no. I might copy and save that and send that to the Alliance. We'll see if I can encourage some at least some other choices. Grab that. Patient. This was Bishop. Who was 2? Here's the confirmation of IDs. Nice. Oh, I'm plugging this in so that I can remember it and put it in my Alliance Discord. So we have MX, Bishop's 1, MX is 2, Iceman's 3. That's Rogue and X23. We have Bishop, MX, Iceman. We have Rogue and X23. Okay. I think we'll get Gambit here very soon. I I really want to like. I don't know if you guys have watched the '97 series. The '97 series is pretty cool. I very much enjoyed the first 3 episodes, but just off the stuff we saw in that series, I'm certain Gambit's coming. I'm certain that they've taken stuff for that show and made a team for it. I think we'll get the announcement for it very, very soon. I don't know if it'll be Team 1 of the Spider-Man series, but it very well might be of the Spider-Man era. I also find it very interesting. Speaking of the Horsemen, right? They have not released the diamonds for the Horsemen, except for Rogue. Rogue was the only one that they had done diamonds release for, and we knew her and we know her team is way out there, right? At least 6 months out. These 3, they have kept their diamonds intentionally, right? Also, Rogue was the Horseman of War, right? She was the War Horseman? No, she was the what which one was she? She was she was Famine. Okay, I'm a little off on that. She's Famine. I also think they kicked this guy off the team. Pretty certain they kicked this guy off the team. But I I'm really curious how they react to Maestro. Maestro comes out this week, right? He comes out. People are going to have him available. I am expecting people don't say nice things about him. We'll see if I'm right. Rogue was Famine. These characters have not been. They have not had their diamonds released yet. I think they will soon, though. And Apox were like turbo expensive, which another way for them to make more money, re-release Apox diamonds in the turbo expensive way with a team that's reworked. Just saying. I think it's coming. I think they're gonna touch these characters. Also, in the 97 series, in the 97 series, in the 97 series, Gambit's already rumored, right? Gambit's already been like rumored. So I think we have three characters that we already know for the show. I think we have Apoc, Gambit, Archangel for sure. I think these three are going to be there. Morgan Le Fay and Red Hulk are the two that I'm very skeptical about. But two new characters kind of fits better, right? Because of Rolk's kit, pretty sure they will not rework him because of Maestro. Um, from what Magnetica said, Lord Richter, they doesn't need a rework. It's just gonna be broken. It's gonna be clunky and broken. From what Magnetic said, it sounds to me like you plug this guy in with Maestro anyways, because this is a global buff. This is a global buff, so you just do it anyways. It's the only way to make Maestro actually function. I think. I think Maestro's got very few homes. In Crucible, he needs like a full suit home to be able to play, which I think there's very few teams that meet the bill. Would you say Asner right now, Orb, so I can pass into the request the content probabilities? Rogue was Famine, Horseman 2 Gamma, Gamma Boogaloo. Unpopular opinion, probably, but Daring Warriors is a better team than Exhausted X-Men. Exhausted X-Men are very good at high builds, Time Splitter, which is why the average person is saying they suck. With very high diamonds, they murder things. By the way, was just for you guys for the Exhausted X-Men. I used this guy, and I've been using this guy a lot. 5 diamond morph murders things. I've even using him in arena because he just kills something. Um, very interesting. Yeah, I have a 5 diamond morph. Very tempted to click the upgrade button on him. If it wasn't gear tier 21, I would totally do this. What does A-bomb do? I don't even remember A-bomb's kit. I remember being excited for him back in the day. Drain. Can you have more than 100% drain? This drain is this a buff that persists only while he's alive? No, it's global. I wonder if there's a Gamma team coming that's going to fix these characters. It's going to be very clunky. Maestro literally might be in a room by himself, but I don't think he will be. I don't think he can be. I think Maestro has to have a team. Like, it doesn't matter how tanky you make him, right? If he literally is just by himself, like, I don't think that's that scary. I don't think. Gamma is one of the highest teams since I just left after APOC. Yeah, Gamma was really good in the APOC era. Yeah, there is a Gamma team. Worldbreaker Gamma is rumored with Grey Hulk. I don't think I've ever heard that rumor, Lord Richter. That's interesting. I think they're gonna peel some of these pieces back together, very very soon, right? They kind of have to. I mean, they've already done the three Bozo characters, right? Braun's unplayable. She-Hulk's tied to retcon and has no other alternative. Hulk is literally the entire like team of for the Amazing Avengers, to even function, right? And so now it's just a matter of pulling these two pieces out, and these two pieces are broken, right? So I'm betting they fix them soon. It makes sense that they fix them soon. You can say my Gear Tier 21 Gamma APOC is ready to go. Fabulous. I wonder what they fix first. Do you guys think the next breaker is a horseman? I've been kind of debating that one a little bit. I could totally see that. Because I think two of these characters don't are I almost wonder if we get a new horseman team. Because APOC throughout the ages has had different horsemen, right? Many different horsemen. These just happen to be the horsemen that they committed. Scorpion is next. I'm still not convinced that's Scorpion. It could be Scorpion. But Scorpion is not a main villain. You know, I'm still not convinced that that breaker is Scorpion. Well, the X-Men 97 show is going to run for a month, right, Steven? It just now started. It's got a 7. I think every 7 days we get 3 more episodes. It's something like that, right? Which makes it really tempting for them to make the next team related to the Horsemen or related to that show while there's some hype around it. It would be very smart of them, right? There's a Scorpion burst milestone in the data mines. What is a burst milestone? That's like the unlock, right? You want the horsemen. The horsemen that they used in that show were kind of crazy. I don't know what to think of that. I don't think we're ready for that character, by the way. Astonard. I don't know. Well, and there's many different directions they could go. Now, interestingly enough, they've already taken a few of the characters from the 97 show, right? Um, which is starting to make a little more sense on what they did. Sunspot went to the New Mutants, which was weird at the time, but now makes more sense because he is actually in the 97 show. Now makes a little more sense, right? We have Jubilee, who has also been reworked, who was also in the 97 show, who has joined a team. Wolverine. Now, we did not get the Wolverine that looks like in that show, but we did get Wolverine reworked, right? Also in the 97 show. Um Orf's in the 97 show. Storm is in the 97 show. Angel is not technically. We have Archangel in the 97 show, not Angel, so that's a little weird. And she did. Jubilee had an awesome segment in that show. If you guys haven't seen it yet, 100% awesome. Um, Cable is interesting. The Cable in that show is so much cooler than the Cable we have. Cable is done dirty. Because I'll be honest, that Cable is way cooler. I would love to have 97 Cable. 97 Cable is pretty cool. You're going with the next breaker is Mikhail Rasputin, which I looked up that character, right? I think I have. I do think it might not be Scorpion. Now, why do you think it's Mikhail Rasputin? Because of the chain whip. That's right. You thought it was this. Show you guys. No, you're not seeing it right now. You think it's because of this. Like this has like the like chain whip looking thing. And he's got like these like weird tentacles looking things on his suit. Um, I don't know. Feels possible, but it doesn't feel like for sure. I want to see the stature of that character again. Where is it? Man, I don't know. It still looks like Scorpion to me. Other than like the tail going over the top is what gets me. But and this isn't part of it, right? This is just part of the Spider-Man Brand New Day thing. Um, I do think it's going to be more of a city-ish character, but they may fool me by that. But I also feel like they've already covered parts of the movie, right? They've already introduced Hulk. They've already introduced Spider-Man. They've already kind of poked at Punisher. They've already kind of poked at Spider-Woman, right? The head looks like Vol. It does look like it possibly comes from the like Asgard era, which I totally could agree with. It screams Asgard to me, which I believe Boylon was poking at Thor rework, but I don't know that I agree. But I don't hate his theory. Um, because right now they've been touching Wave One Avengers like crazy. Like there's like two big teams they've been touching like yoinking characters from, right? The Wave One Avengers, which they've really yoinked at this team right now, right? Hulk is gone. Black Widow's gone. Captain America we know is soon. Hawkeye, we everybody keeps poking towards West Coast Avengers. These two are the two that we have no idea about, but they've moved. I guess there's a data mine saying they're moving his shards to a daily, to the daily login. I think's what it is. And then the other team that they've really yoinked the characters for that we don't know what they're doing with is this team, right? These are the other ones they've really yoinked the characters for. Chameleon mid-shift between Sinister Six member, poor Hawkeye. It's Chameleon. Chameleon, the like the lizard man. I don't know how to spell chameleon. I did it with an I instead of an A. That probably helps. Chameleon Marvel. Oh, this was the guy that was in at the end of the Craven movie, right? Dimitri. That'd be a take. Well, we're for sure getting Robot Hawkeye, right? He had impersonated people. Interesting. Yeah, he was in the Craven movie. I remember that. That I don't know. That's an interesting idea. Oh, did I not show you guys? I was just scrolling. I was looking through his pictures. I was poking at. There's one that had the Craven like title in it. I don't know where I saw it. It was in here. Oh, there it is. Yeah, he's in the Craven movie. He's been in the comics. Chameleon would be interesting. I don't know that I think that's who's coming, but I don't think the stature's right for it, right? In this stature, I don't know. I mean, it looks like fuzzy shoulders and bracers. Fuzzy shoulders and bracers and a horned helmet. Looks like a scorpion tail. Is there anyone that rips off Scorpion's tail? I'm gonna ask some dumb questions, AI. Does any Marvel character rip off Scorpion's tail and use it as a weapon? See what it comes up. Yes, Spider-Man himself is famously ripped off Scorpion's tail in the comics to defeat him. You're thinking about a specific instance where a hero rips off the tail and then actively uses a weapon in combat. There's iconic video game fight where it happens. Raven the Hunter severe Scorpion cybernet severs Scorpion's cybernetic tail. That's interesting. We've already kind of poked at is this Kraven? Later in the aftermath, later in the storyline, Spider-Man engages in a brutal, no-holds-barred brawl with Kraven. During the intense combat sequence, Spider-Man gets his hands on a severed tail and uses it as a sharp weapon against Kraven the Hunter. I wonder if this was Kraven. Yeah, I was talking about the next breaker. Because I really don't think it's Scorpion. I think Scorpion. It's way too obvious. I think it's way too obvious. You think in the data mines it's Scorpion confirmed? Is there an S6 dude with a helmet like they have? I think it's a mix of multiple S6 members. Breaker Morbius with Under the Ring with a steel chair. Well, I think there's a new team coming, right? I think just like when whatever Breaker comes, there will be a team around him, just like there was with the Omen team. I have no idea where they'll place that team. My guess is War. I'm guessing almost all of these teams that the Breakers bring will go to War. Also, we just did a Crucible team, right? And we just did a Raid team, so it probably makes sense that it goes to a War team. And it probably helps evolve the War meta faster, which probably is the game mode that needs it the most, which makes some sense. Well, that's what I'm kind of pointing at exactly, Steven. That was why I brought it up. I think there are 4 more reworks coming. I would almost bet that next patch, within the next 30 days, we will have an announcement of another four-man rework team coming. I'm betting some characters in there will be not of what we would suspect, right? They might fit the city. I think they're going to continue with the city vibe because of the Spider-Man movie. It's either going to be the city vibe or it's going to be the 97 vibe. I don't know which direction they go, but I do think that it's very likely that those are some of the characters they use, right? Now, I don't know which direction they go and what they use. Let's go look at that. Do I think it's a villain? I don't think it has to be a villain team. I think it could be a morally gray team too, that maybe gets corrupted. Like I don't think they have to be villains. So let's just use city for now, because I do think this is the domain they're trying to stay into. Nobu, man. Does he have a chance? I don't know. I could see him having a chance, but man, feels awkward. I don't know that they touch this guy. He feels awkward. If it's a villain team, like I feel like Kingpin's likely. It also might be the reason that they didn't fix the Shadow Conclave team when we broke it. Have you seen Facebook graphics of the Exalted X-Men with Gambit instead of Morph? I bet Gambit is getting reworked and was moved off of Exalted at the last minute. 100% agree, most stuff. Now, I don't know about the last minute part, but I do think Gambit is a rework character for sure. It could be what happened there, and you might be right, because that would have been a double ping team, right? That would have been Storm pinging and Gambit pinging. Probably wasn't bad. I could totally see that being a thing. They might have gotten the news about Morph and pivoted and had the character ready and pivoted the character instantly. Could be what happened. Um, I personally think Gambit is the Horseman of Death, but it could be a new character. Omen was all cosmic and villain. Yes. They were all cosmic and villain, and the Breaker was cosmic, right? And villain. I think that they will do something right. So maybe City and villain might be it might they might keep in the domain. I could see them doing that. Maybe. Let's try City and villain and see what that looks like. I have a feeling City and villain is like all Sinister Six though. If it's Scorpion, I think Craven is like almost a guarantee. I don't think Doc will go. Mr. Negative is a maybe. I could see these two characters going for sure. And last time they did this, they did it almost like two teams combined. Because Omen was really the combination of some Kree characters that didn't have a lot of synergy with each other, and Black Order, and it really became the functionality of like what Black Order used to do. Really is kind of how I would describe it. Right? It was very similar to what like a new stats Black Order. I wonder if it's like a new stats Underworld, which this guy is the Underworld team, right? Um, Very likely could be the character that makes the cut. Mr. Negative, Craven. I think of Kingpin. I think I could see Kingpin being very likely. And I don't know who the last would be. I don't know if Nobu makes the cut. I feel like that's too many. It'd be somebody else. I feel like it'd be another Sinister Six. Who else fits the Craven universe? Blizzard? Craven allies. Do some Googling. Chameleon, Calypso. Harry Osborn, Green Goblin. Doc Ock. The Rhino. Rhino. Vulture. Mysterio. I could see that. Morbius? I don't think Morbius fits the bill. I think he feels off. GGC getting a touch up. He would be an easy character for them to touch up. He is villain. He is the new one of the newer modern legendaries, right? He's the newest of the old legendaries. I've never thought they would touch this character up. Um, though he is kind of them nerfing this would be make sense for them. I don't think his kit's that problematic to the game. It keeps Insidious 6 pretty dang relevant. Um, Maybe. I wouldn't hate it. I would actually love it. I feel like that is over ambitious though. I would love if it was Craven, GGC, Mr. Negative, and Kingpin. I would love that, but I don't think we'll get it. I think this guy will not be it. And the reason I say this guy will not be is that he will be in the Doom movie. Pretty certain he's in the Doom movie. Rhino isn't tech. You guys think it's tech? I don't think it's tech. You want to put tech in here? Really limited if it's tech. I don't think they take these characters. I mean, it's basically these four, right? If they did that, if it's city, villain, tech, I think that's way too specific. Mysterio is really good. I could see them taking this character. He's an easy one to just give a stat update to, and he's fine. And people would absolutely build him. He's great. He is also, is he three piece? He is three piece. These are two legendary characters. Man, I don't know. Please, no more bio teams. Go Merc Lieutenant. I think Rhino's a high chance. I could see Rhino. Rhino has not been used in a long time. What does Rhino even do these days? I forget his kit. They updated it slightly, right? On blind, clear blind, and one random negative effect for self and each ally and fill speed bar by 75%. This is a super interesting mechanic, by the way, because blind has been a way we've been canceling mechanics for a while now. Would be useful, especially on a new stat character. I'm not sure they're ready to do that yet, though. Because this character being updated, just existing, right? It would be useful. This is super strong. Could be a way that you break some mechanics. By the way, would work very well with a cursed even today. Believe it or not, would be kind of funny. You guys thought Odin was useful for clearing blinds? How about a Rhino that automatically does it? I hear that's a pretty useful mechanic when trauma's not allowed. I could see them doing that, Astanar. That's something I think is reasonable. Um, I have a feeling that they do what they did with this last team. I think they're going to jam two teams together, and I do think Underworld is likely the team that's getting yanked. I think the characters come from here. I think it is a combination of Underworld and Superior Six, or Sinister Six, I guess you could say. I don't think it has to be Superior. I think it's this. I think this is the pool of characters that will get yoinked for this team. That will be with the Breaker. If we think it's Scorpion, I think Scorpion is this. I think it will be four between Black Cat, Bullseye, Electric Kingpin, and Mr. Negative, Morbius, and Nobu. I think you can rule out a few of those, but I don't think they're all terrible either, Steven. Nobody wanted to build Underworld when they released. Yeah, but the guys that built Underworld, they were so good for so long. Now Underworld is quite a bit weaker now. They lost Taskmaster, right? Taskmaster really doesn't fit the team anymore. Doesn't get used in that light anymore. So they really died hard. Mr. Negative was really good back in the day. Still is. And it was a war offense team, which is interesting. Which is kind of what I expect them to be. By the way, you can see my Mr. Negative. I basically didn't even build the guy. Didn't even T4 his abilities. That's gonna feel bad if they pick him. Please don't pick him. Most of these characters, I think I don't have T4s on. Look at this. This is how you know they're probably likely. You can just see like how I played back then. Different. Very much don't have T4s on those characters. This is why 100% think it's these characters. Morbius is an interesting one. So the interesting part about Morbius is we just released Blade, right? We just released a new Blade, which was very out there in the middle of nowhere. Morbius could be on this team very easily. It could be story elements that they're about to put together, which is why they picked this character. I'm not excited if that's what they did. Um, how is the Dark Hunter team doing? They've taken two out of this team. I don't think they took Ghost Rider. Well, Midnight Suns would be amazing. The why they haven't done that team, I'm amazed. Um, they have not done that team justice. These two characters, or these three characters, really. Doctor Voodoo's a pile of poop, right? I don't even know how you save this character. I don't even know if you think you can. He's a horrible character. Literally doesn't do anything. Morbius was just like a bleed machine. He was like 90% of the kit, right? Back in the day, and that was 100% made to counter Heroes for Hire. That was like this entire team's job. It's all they were used for. um, Morbius is the only one that feels right to me. Dr. Voodoo's never getting touched. I think there may be three people in the world excited for him. Hey, it's that guy. Well, that's exactly why they'll use him, though. The Breaker team doesn't have to be exciting. That it is one of the cool features of the Breaker team, right? They don't have to make an exciting team for you to want to build them. The Breaker team functionality was good. Who are you excited for on this team, name wise? Do you give a crap about Ronan the Accuser or Minerva or Ebony Maw or Cole Obsidian? Let's be real. I don't give a crap about any of these names. Which is why I think they're using the Omen team or like the what do I want to call it? The vehicle of the Omen team, right? The type of team for building bullshit. Building no name stuff, right? Things we don't care about but make functionality good. Probably lives in the world of like offense because they want you to play with your breaker. Um, they want you to enjoy this character, right? And this character enables them to be good, right? Minerva and Ebony. Yeah, I agree with that, Steven. I think the legendary rework was huge. Um, Ebony and Cole were to me were pretty they're iconic characters. I think they kind of like were the staple of the Black Order team. And it kind of like fulfilled the niche of why everybody was disappointed for Thanos, right? When they announced this character, everybody was like, "Are you serious? You didn't use Infinity Mode? Like, come on." But really, we kind of got the same aspects of the Black Order team when they announced the Omen team. They kind of fulfilled both roles, right? And for most people, I think most people agree the Omen team feels better. Is Ronan still not tagged? I think he's just bugged. Um, there you go. Sometimes the shield like gets all funky. The number disappears. So I think that they will. Was this all four-piece teams? Are you a four-piece? God, he is. You probably are a four-piece being legendary. Horrible. And she's four-piece too. Is he really four-piece? Tell me he's not a five. Oh, there's a one. Okay, he's a three. I don't know. But that's why I kind of think they're gonna pick bullshit completely. Weird, my Twitch app crashed and won't work. Hello from YouTube. Welcome in, MDE MSF. How's it going? Welcome in, welcome in. We're just having theory crafting time. We're talking about dumb stuff, like which characters are getting reworked, or at least we hope we can get reworked. Is Morbius City? He is City. Anyone attacked you in arena yet? I was fifth today. I was annoyed. I had to go punch back up. I used Morph. Oh, MosDef. What's up, MosDef? This guy keeps hitting me. I don't know who the hell he is or where he came from. Uh, I just hit him back. I'll fix that as soon as I go buy my riot shards, because I'm gonna upgrade riot some more. You guys like my offense team? I literally use morph to taunt everything and murder X 3 seconds into the match. It's great. I'm like, oh, you have a Professor X. Well, now you have a 4-man team. Let's go. I enjoy it. What's this guy? This guy never even hits me. He just goes to 2. Nobody even wants to play with me. But like nobody in my brackets maxed the team. He's attacking with dumb shit. He's not even trying to win. He's just literally just like, I just want my attacks done. Just use X and then you don't need Morph. X doesn't instantly kill somebody, and half the time he dies. Morph kills somebody. I think Morph's way more fun. But you're right, X takes the taunt away. Top 10 get the same payout. I'm glad they did this like this, by the way. If it was anything worse and they would have done like a #1 spot or something, it would have been so much like less fun. I do have to pay attention now because I definitely want these orbs. And I don't want to lose a percent of them for somebody hitting me last minute, so I got to pay attention on the resets. How long did they say this was going to go on? Like 3 weeks or something? I've got a guy who keeps. Yeah, Morph just kills something, so it's great. Like I wish I could say X does something, but he doesn't. 3 weeks. Like the only reason we put X on defense is literally just a speed stop, right? Just to stop on spawn. And it doesn't even matter. Like tell his character. I guess he stops assists also, which is a little bit useful. That's a little bit useful. That's like the only other thing that's like useful about him, right? 2 to 3 months or something. I wish. I think it's 3 weeks. I'm level 98. These orbs are so useless to me. No, they're not, Sunshine. You'll be using the. Look, Okay, Sunshine, collect things now because you're going to want this stuff as soon as you get there. I get it's useless today, but it is super useful as you get going. Because I believe these orbs are giving you gear share 22, right? Let me see. You get 21 in the center. What do you get on the sides? This is 19. And this is what? This is 20. So, well, darkness doesn't do anything, right? I think they're immune to darkness, aren't they? So this is giving you pieces towards X also, which is great. You're going to want X when you get high enough. You're in a crunch for teal gear. I've heard that exists, and I feel bad for the people that have that. 19, 21, and 20. How am I doing on up to 600 of these? A little low. I have more though. I can get. So you'll feel good. They're basically immune to mind controls. Oh right, they do like the baby damage when they with the basic, right? Symbiote 6. And they don't get the damage reduction, I don't think. Team is so good. Except my toxin is a pile of crap. Oh, let's go. Shall we go acquire the? Let's see what's the battle pass all about. We haven't even looked at that or the store or anything. Give me that. That's interesting. So now they're letting people buy it just for it just exists. You don't even need the chain offer. Huh. That's kind of interesting. So why would you ever do this and go all the way to this step if you could just buy this? Seems a little backwards. $20 extra for 55 Gear Tier 21 is tempting. I probably am buying that. I've been a purchaser. So I haven't really been, and you get an extra 130 riot shards too. So you end up at 210, 310. Well, why not get both? Well, I'm not buying this. This is skill gear. I don't give a shit about skill gear, but I do find it interesting. I ain't buying that though. There's not a lot of offers today. Kind of interesting. Very few offers actually. Mostly junk. Yeah, the only thing I'm interested in is the pass. I'm not willing to buy any of this. This is, I mean, these two character offers are not bad, but they're not amazing either. I might hold off on that. I might do that in a video. I might do that offline since we've just kind of been hanging out tonight. Might do that as a video, and I'll buy all that stuff and talk about it because I do think the battle pass is worth it. Even and I do think the premium plus is the best use of your money right now. Um, Maybe it's not everybody because not everybody's in the same situation I am, where you're very flush on gold and training mats and all of the like normal day-to-day stuff. But I'm very flush on that stuff, right? So getting cheaper gear tier 21 to me is worth it. That's all I've been doing lately. That's kind of where I've moved to, Berserker. I've moved from buying characters day one to I just go and do the premium plus and move on. Like, I think the character offers are too expensive. So if I think the character offers are too expensive, I would rather just do this. But this is 2 weeks. What is this? 2 weeks later? Maybe a little more. Might be a little more. How long has it been since we got Riot? 3 weeks? 30 days? I guess it'd be 30 days, right? A month. It's normally 10 days a character. So it's right at a month. Yeah, I saw that there was a offer in there, but I'm not even interested in it. Like the Executioner one, this one here, right? It's got this offer here if somebody wants it, but you got to buy Executioner first. So it's not like it's perfectly free. This is average shard pricing. So it ends up being $35 if you want that. And then the rest of the steps all suck. They all suck. So if you want this, it's $35. I don't really love that for $35. Executioner, do I have him maxed? I don't even remember. I technically don't, but I don't care. So it's kind of a weird one. But that's annoying because my executioner is max, so I'm spending 20 for nothing. Yeah, you're spending $35 for golden training mats, right? They kind of locked it away for a lot of people, which I'm not a fan of. Yeah, if that was Toxin, I would have jumped all over that. Probably would have bought the Toxin shards and the golden training mats, probably. If that was Rachel, maybe. Maybe. I feel like that's the pattern. Will they spend $35 on something they normally would spend 15 for? That's 100% what they're doing, Asinard. They're trying to get people to step up into new realms that they don't normally spend in. Um, that is like the whole theme of what they've been doing recently. That's why the Rachel offers look like they do. You know, they did the normal chain offer, which they've raised the prices on, and then they did this, right? They did these two steps for the big spenders, but most of the big spenders don't need this. So they end up having to spend an extra $90 to get their Gear Tier 21, which is why I found it so odd that they did this. Oh, wrong screen. I'm a bad streamer. I was pointing at these two offers. The $90 for the chain offer, 7 and 8. And then there's the Gears for 21 that's at step 9. And then there's this offer. So I don't know. I'm just paying because of like all the shenanigans that happen. I'm just paying extra close attention. I want to know what exactly, and it's just kind of the results of what happened, right? I'm being way more um stingy on my money, I guess, right? I'm trying to get value out of my money, because I feel like they've shown that they don't want to give us value for our money. They're trying to take it away. They're trying to like get more. They're trying to get more for less, right? What they're trying to do. Whether it's working or not, that's a whole another conversation. But I don't know. I don't even feel like I missed anything there. Dark patterns, exactly. Um, where's her? Oh, this orb. I won't even consider this orb like so bad. I There's a world where I might consider this on a really good character, like just unlock it. But because there's 3 steps of trash before you can even start to get to good steps, I'm like, I'm good. I don't need that. The only price pointing that they kept the same was for the big spenders. They pay the same price for shards, we don't. The smaller spenders aren't. That's why I get to go to that app together to do the orb probability distribution, expected cost of X shards, and also the ability to simulate number of pulls for people who don't have do the math. Oh, have you been using a website or something? Oh, are you trying to build an app for it, Astarn? That'd be cool. By the way, an emulator kind of thing. I love that kind of stuff. This website does something similar to that. So this is a Path of Exile website, right? And they literally have an emulator where you can like actually go craft an item and what's going to happen to it. You can select your base and then you select your levels and you proceed, and you can actually go and like give it the orbs and things and give it like its stuff, and you can tell it to remove stuff like with an annulment. There you go, something goes away, you can divine it and give it more stuff and re-roll things. It'll tell you how much currency you used. Oh, you want to craft it a different way, you want to exalted it, you can give it more stuff. Oh, you want to fossil craft it, you can do that. Like all kinds of cool things, right? And this is really awesome because it tells you your odds of having something happen. There's also like a calculator where you can do it, where if you want to hit certain mods, right? And you want to hit them at a certain level, and here are the bases and the percentages. And let's just say you wanted to chaos spam it, right? And it'll literally give you the confidence and the chances it will take to hit that mod, which I think is super awesome. And your probability of pulling something like that. Now, it doesn't mean you're always going to hit this, but this is what it's saying the odds are. When you're going to hit a tier two kind of thing, and which is like 2 different like mods and 2 different pools. It's going to say it's going to take 280 tries. Like stuff like that is super cool. I love it. has the endpoint I sent you the proven useful SNR. I'm not sure it's the same IDs or some other API expects, but I suspect it is. I'm going to try later. I've been playing D4 with the friends trying to type in here while not dying, but it looks like I returned what I needed. Nice. Let's go. That'd be super cool, guys, if you guys could make something like that. I'm pretty sure they're getting less from less. They need to rebuild a lot of trust or bring new players who didn't feel betrayed. I agree, Royalty. Well, and have you guys watched Diamond Dave's video? I was super interested in what he had to say today. You guys want to watch that? I think that'd be a fun one to watch together because I have opinions on that too. That might be a fun one to watch. To be honest, you didn't know GDD had a video today? I watched it earlier. I think it's a fun watch. He released it 11 hours ago. It's only got 100 views, so we'll definitely we're definitely gonna promote his video for you guys. If you guys haven't, you could give OGDD that follow and subscribe and all that jazz and hit the up button. But we'll watch this one together. Did he quit again? No. Diamond. So he kind of explains it here in this video, so we'll just let it play. It can climb back easy. Let's go ahead and go here, and let me see if it's playing sound. No. Working on sound, hold on.
Welcome in, everybody. OG Diamond Dave here, back with another Marvel Strike Force video. I don't decree anything, so, it is what it is. Just wanted to get your attention. Appreciate you stopping in, and I do hope you're going to enjoy what we got going on here. Let's see. What I want to talk about today is kind of the state of the game. The good news is I'm still playing Marvel Strike Force. There's nothing crazy happening. I'm not going anywhere, do anything wild or wacky. But the bad news is that I feel like I'm the most unenthusiastic about the game I've been in a really long time. And obviously there was the thing that happened where I felt like certain people were getting unfair preferential treatment. Don't know that that's ever gone away, but it is what it is. And then there was the whole thing where people found some exploits, and obviously that's public information that's out there. That kind of sours the mood. And then on top of it, you look back and we were promised fun. And for me, I haven't gotten any of that fun yet. So I know that there's a lot of efforts going to be putting into the towers, and there's all different types of towers, right? Like there's ones that have been, shorter, there's ones that run longer, been repeated, all that good stuff. The towers are fine. I don't dislike them. I don't dislike the format or anything like that.
What I'm reading what you're saying, Dossier, or about Dossier. Are you talking about for Marvel Strike Force, or are you talking about for Raid? I don't even know what you're talking about. The royalty. Doesn't mean anything. You just climb back easy. Oh wait, band. Never mind. Yeah, MSF. Yeah, if the MSF experiences feels poor on day 10, that's not good. I would agree. Dave's talking about his experiences right now. And he's referencing the bringing the fun back. I want to see. I'd like for you guys to answer that. Do you guys feel like the game is fun right now? And are you excited about it? I enjoy talking about new teams and things. That does make me kind of excited, but the actual gameplay loop I think is especially not that fun right now at my level, and I would even say Dave's level. And I think he kind of gets into that.
So I think that they have been fine, but I'm also not like, yes, new tower coming. Because oftentimes when I get excited about content and, maybe there's a little letdown and this and the other, so I'm just approaching it, in a very all right, let's check it out. We'll see what the new tower is going to be. And, what's interesting is the gameplay itself is fairly standardized, right? You've got a team of 5, you attack a team of anywhere from 5 to however many they could possibly have on the other side. Sometimes it looks like 10 or 11 or 12 or who knows. And there's a speed mechanic and there's those things, and you just kind of get through it. Like there's no new mechanics and new things that they add a ton of. I can tell you this. I think it was maybe 2 years, 18 months, 19 months ago now, coming up on 19 months. I think it was in 2024. We had new mechanics added in that like Halloween, esque event where there was zombies and vampires and some of those things, and I thought that was so cool, right? And I want to see more innovation on things like that, like really transform the gameplay a little bit. I think that would be great. What I hope for, we can aggressively get to a point where there's new mechanics, things are changed, and the gameplay feels a little bit more impactful. Um, I can tell you that the differences in
I want to pause them there. Um, what did you guys think of like that zombie mode? Because I personally didn't care for it. I didn't find it that fun. It was different. It was something you had to do, but it mostly played the exact same, right? It didn't really have a lot of nuance to it. It didn't really really lean into it. It was very, very mild and timid, I thought, as far as a mode went, for them trying to do something new and different. I do get where Dave's going with that, with like wanting them to think outside the box, do something new, do something different. Um, but this is the problem. Like they didn't do stuff for three plus years, 5 plus years, whatever you want to call it, right? There's a lot of like just doing nothing in their wheelhouse, and so they've let everything get so old that they have to go back and update everything, which I kind of get. Like I honestly agree with it. Um, I do agree with Dave wanting new stuff though. As far as wanting something new and different and engaging and even like this is why I rag on Annihilus as hard as I do. I am so surprised that they didn't introduce a new mechanic with that character. I'm so surprised they haven't leaned into new mechanics with characters. We saw Shadow King with like the ping, right? With the possession and the pings and whatnot. We've seen a little bit of new kind of mechanics, but they're really not new mechanics. Um, with Angel and Eclipse, with the stances, right? Almost. Which really those are just undispellable buffs. They're not even like new mechanics. Um, which we're starting to see a little bit of those kind of things start to pop up in the game, which I do love seeing because it kind of like makes a better identifier for a team. Which I think is really cool, right? Collect 100 brains to win. Zombies were cool because they were new. It was timid, but at the time it was refreshing. That's a fair take. I think they could have expanded on it a lot more. Let's be honest, Danger Room is already getting boring, and Battle World isn't thrilling either. Well, Battle World, I don't understand what they do there. Like, I've honestly, like, they keep trying to like announce it as new and exciting, and it feels like they do almost nothing to it. I honestly don't know what they do. It feels odd there. I've always kind of felt like that, like, and maybe it's the wording that they use to like describe change. But when I expect change, I almost expect an overhaul, and what we get is like the most timid, mild rework of trying to make everybody fit the same cup of tea. Thank you for the subscribe, by the way. Really appreciate you, Neon. Thank you, thank you. You're awesome. So thank you. I appreciate that. Um, so I don't know what their thought process is there, but I will say, as far as the core gameplay modes, right? I am the most unengaged with Crucible I've ever been. War's been okay, mostly because we shelled. If you asked me how War was 3 months ago, I probably would have said it's the worst thing I've ever participated in. Arena is still broken. Like the core gameplay modes to me are still in a very poor shape. Which is probably why like I'm disengaged with the game overall. I think PvP is pretty fun, but I also think it's pretty mindless too. So it feels like we have less decision making than we've ever had, which I don't love. I am hopeful for the new raids, Sunshine. I'm hoping it will be fun. I will say I have enjoyed the towers. But I'm not enjoying the towers on my account. My account's actually really not fun doing the towers. I don't even enjoy it. Like we go run up the tower in 30 minutes and we're done, right? It's may not even be 30 minutes and I barely even make changes. I barely have to play the mode. And to me, that's not a whole lot of fun. But I have had fun doing the towers and making the tower videos for you guys on the free to play account, where I have very minimal resources and I set the restraint of I'm not going to build things on intentionally, right? Kraken Tears, love you, Zastin. What's up to you, Dats? How's it going? I love the towers on the free to play. I have a lot of fun doing it. I think it's a lot of fun trying to do it with the minimum possible. Watching your characters needing to make a strategy where your characters almost don't get hit, right? I think that's kind of fun, but not everybody loves that kind of interaction, right? They don't love figuring that puzzle out. Um, and I've enjoyed like, hold on, I want to show you something. Let's go to my YouTube. I want to show you a comment, and I very much agree with it. I read it today, and I thought it was interesting. Interesting video title. It was, I think, on my Blade Tower video. And I think I gotta uncheck this junk. Did I respond? I think I responded to it. Where'd it go? I'm free. Oh, it's Sunshine. Hey, Sunshine, welcome in. There you are. I'm free to play, and I started playing again after 3 years, and not long ago. I was able to do more of the other towers because I could use old tunes, and I was already leveled, but now the towers mostly new teams, and I'm lacking the resources. It's funny, it's you. Um, but hey, I read your comments, guys. I read most of them. There's a few I don't, but for the most part, I do. Um, so I found it super interesting that you said that because I very much feel this way about the towers. I think they're way more like prescriptive. I think it was less fun doing the Blade Tower overall because it was like so much like we didn't get to use the teams and the lights that they're made for, right? In the other towers, I got to use a war team for a war mode, and it functioned like a war team. In this one, I got to use a war team like junk, right? Like I used like 3 characters, and none of them have their abilities turned on, and it's mostly like me just manipulating speed so they never hit me, right? And I don't really think that's that fun. I'll be completely honest. Apex is at 14 days, which I get, but Rockets is at 7 days royalty. That might have been there were some people that didn't get unbanned from the first wave. That might be part of that. I don't know. I did a Reddit post. My alt can't do this tower at all. Only 20 of the characters are level 100, and the lesser 30 are level 1. You don't even have enough characters, right? Is that what the problem is, Royalty? Because you only have 20 characters, and you need 30 minimum, right? So that's rough. That is rough. Let's go. Hold on. Let's go in game for just a second. You guys have like pivoted me. Um, the issue that I have with it, and let's go look at the wave one characters, just or the what is it, Tower one? I think it's Tower. Tower Challenger one. These are the characters that they've made available, right? Tower Challenger one. No, this can't. Where's the breakpoint? Here's the breakpoint. Um, total. Let's just count the characters. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50 characters. You need 30 out of these 50 characters built. Now let's go, let's do it a little bit differently. You need 30 of 50 characters. How many of these are old characters? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna add Sentry to that list because Sentry you may or may not have depending on how you did in Battle World, right? Locked character. So let's add that to the list. 4. Bahori's 5. Emma Frost is 6. Lilander's 7. Havoc's 8. Rachel's 9. Emma Frost is 10. And these might even be characters you would consider too. I don't know, but they're pretty required recently. Eclipse is 11. Like at least half of these characters are very old, right? Like there's or let's just call it a third, right? A third of these characters are very old. Um, then there's a bunch of characters that are very new, and the combination of those two is kind of not very fun for free to play, right? Easy is an unlock, so it's not pointless. I think to an extent people are having unrealistic expectations for Omega difficulty. What do you think the expectation should be? If you don't mind me asking. I think that the difference the spread between Omega and Hard is not right yet. So let me. I think Omega is too easy. I think Hard is too hard, and I think the rewards between Hard and Omega is not proportionate yet. How's that for an answer? That's kind of what I think right now. I think the proportions between the two don't make sense. Hard basically gives you nothing for a whole lot of work. Omega gives you quite a bit of stuff, but you have to have things perfectly built, and it's really easy. And then easy mode's just dumb. Correct. Xavier and Blue Marvel are not friendly for new players either. Well, the account I've been interacting with doesn't have Blue Marvel. What about the spread between easy and hard? I have no idea. I have not engaged with it. The difference between easy and hard is tricky because that's like a new player versus an end game player. Because there's really three difficulties here, right? This is your normal difficulty, which to me this doesn't look difficult. Having Teal and having the punch up in the gear turn 19, probably very reasonable for a new player, I would think. To me, this doesn't seem like this would be that difficult, especially with newer characters. I think you're probably okay as long as you have 30. Having 30 characters is probably the hard part. Um, Probably their hardest part is just having enough characters to do 6 floors back to back. Would be my guess. That would like kind of like what Royalty was saying. The jump up to here is like all gear tier 19. This is a really big jump, by the way. The jump up to this difficulty. I mean, a 17 million floor with a blue marvel at the top. You're unlikely to kill that as a very early game new player. Like that is a lot to ask, right? So like the gaps are pretty wide right now. Yeah, the point split's bad. It's really bad from what I've heard. My issue is the point split. My 3 floors of Omega means nothing else I do for the month is pointless, which that's bad design, right? Royalty. Um, Probably should a hard should be worth more points than that. If I was guessing, hards should be level 95, gear tier 18. That seems like a fair take. That seems reasonable. And that's part of them having needing to design better. Like realistically, hard should what should a hard character be look like? How many points do you know how many points the full hard tower is worth, Royalty? What does that get you for a character? Do you know? I'm assuming the Omega full tower gets you just like Quicksilver, it gets you a 5-star with 105 extra shards. Hard is 20k. So what's that? 2-star unlock? That's like 3 nodes. It's like nothing. I have 20k right now. Okay, so this is equivalent to a 2-star. Almost 3. See, that's so low. For that much effort, I think that's not very good. Like, there's no reason that they can't climb higher than that. Like, floor 20, why can't they go to 30, right? Why can't hard be equivalent to 30? I think that's more than reasonable, or just before 30. What if it's 25? I don't know. Somewhere in here. And the points are more spread out, right? And if you can jump to Omega, and maybe Omega shouldn't be worth that much in the beginning, right? Maybe Omega should mostly be towards the top end of it. I don't know. Throwing some ideas out there. But Omega should be harder. Like Omega's too easy. Like Omega doesn't challenge my account, right? Like who's Omega supposed to be challenging right now? It's challenging free to play, which is quite a bit different than not. Which people would be freaking upset if it happened. Like because like I'll be honest, the difference between like a free to play F4 and my F4 is like 50% power or more, right? Um, their Franklin is literally half the size of my Franklin, which I don't know what to do about that. Like, how do you balance the game? And this is why I kind of still hate the diamond system. I still hate 110. Like, I think they made the game worse by expanding the levels, right? Where's my Franklin? I don't even know where he is. I've probably passed him 5 times over. Oh, it's because I have Tower Challenger selected. I was like, I know my Franklin's not that low. Anyone got a free-to-play Franklin? What's your free-to-play Franklin, guys? I bet your free-to-play Franklin is probably 1900, somewhere around that range at best. Oh wait, hard is 24K, so it's basically nothing. Standby. We're holding. I'm sure the game's waiting to load. We can go back to Dave's video. We'll catch it on the next part. Dave's video. But we'll continue to play.
Content that we have today is towers, which are puzzle, but not necessarily difficult, right? Especially at the top end game, right? Now, if your rosters aren't built, maybe that's where some of the challenge lies in there for you, which I think is great, and that's fine. That's also the way it should be. But then you have the Scourge events, which are turn counting, mind numbingly painful RNG fests that I really dislike. So really, really, really dislike that content. It's not fun for me in any way, shape, or form.
I ain't ready to go to that part yet. We'll get to that because that I love Dave's take on this. By the way, I think it's a very reasonable take. I think it'll be interesting for everybody. I want to get Royalty's size of his Franklin before we move too much further into this, because I do think it's relevant. Because I think Royalty's Franklin is probably half the size of my Franklin, probably. Whoa, I know that guy. Yeah, that guy's pretty awesome. I heard. My tablet loads so slow. No, you're good, Royalty. I'm just curious because I do think you had a really awesome take on the breaker event, Dave. I appreciate your take. I do like that. We haven't made it to that part yet. Well, who's that good-looking rooster? uh, Not as awesome as me. I don't know about that. I don't know why we have to keep taking breaks from the video because he keeps stopping by to poop. Oh no. Oh man. All right. Royalty's taking forever. We're gonna continue on. We'll get back to that. Free to play is level 109, 3 diamonds, gear tier 20, peso 5. Franklin is 2.5 million. You're 2.5 million compared to my 3.7 million. I mean, that just kind of like gives you a little comparison of why it's hard to make content. Where's the design? Where's the level that it's meant to be, right? Um, it's hard to make something that's interesting for both sets of players, right? Because that for your team to exist and feel good, your team has to not instantly die. And if your team doesn't instantly die, then my team isn't pressured at all, right? And that's kind of where the issue is, the making the towers interesting and fun. And it's just not. And I'm sure this goes even further with like Dave's roster, right? Dave's roster is even bigger than mine. Why I kind of think that you kind of say that things aren't fun. You aren't progressing towards anything. You aren't chasing anything. Like what you just described is kind of crazy. Literally, there's an extra like I have another 30% on you, right? Essentially, Royalty.
I still haven't done a max pack run. I'm not going to do a max pack run of the Breaker Scourge. You know, we're going to land where we land, and it is what it is at that point. And that's really, really frustrating, right? And it's the only reason I'm not doing it is not that I don't want the rewards. It's not that I don't want that. It's that I find it so incredibly unfun that I'm just not going to put the time into it. If it was any sort of enjoyable and I needed to keep running it and all this other stuff, maybe I would, but like there's no shot. Because it's just turn counting at this point, right? It's just counting how many turns can you get. So I'll be one less person competing for those, top 20 spots.
So I very much agree with Dave on this. As you guys know, I've done a max pack run. I've done a couple of them now. I'm competing with people that are willing to put even more turn counting ability into it than I am, and I'm finding it very not fun. I had fun with this up to the breaker event in the first round when I wasn't turn counting and I was just trying to turn on another pact and I was just trying to do better, right? And for the most part, the majority of the people that I was competing against were doing the same thing, right? They were just turning on another pact. I thought it was pretty enjoyable doing that, right, and figuring it out and how to overcome another thing. But we've now run it for 3 months, right? We've done three versions of it, and the first one, the rewards were uber tight, and I'm fine with that. That was pretty fine, right? The second run, they loosened the rewards slightly, and it felt reasonable, but it felt like I didn't really have anything to chase because I acquired what I thought was reasonable for my account. Um, which I was fine with, but I was like, I'm a little bored because I don't have anything to actually chase here. Because you guys didn't actually give me a carrot on the stick to go chase. The carrot on the stick was felt like it was outside of my area of grasp. Then this third run came up, right? And I feel like the carrot on the stick, after seeing the numbers on the second run, I was like, ooh, the carrot on the stick might be more chaseable than I thought. Let's give it a try, right? And so we did, and we figured it out. And what I'm figuring out is everybody else is figuring it out too. And because they didn't move the metrics on the leaderboard, it almost feels like I'm now playing turn count city with people, which I don't really find that fun. Makes me wish I didn't try. And it does take a lot of time, which Dave will get to. I'm sure he said it in his video too. It takes a lot of time to do that, right? And I almost wish there was more packs to turn on. And this is me guessing a little bit. I'm guessing they didn't expect that we would be able to max pack this. Is my guess. Plus, there's greedy rabbits who will hoard carrots. Well, and there's some problems too with this leaderboard system. The system, it technically encourages blocking, which is a very real thing, right? Somebody that got it last run can go block again. There's people that are trying for higher rewards that technically are blocking people from the other reward, right? Because they're competing for. There's people competing for 5 diamond right now, right? That probably have the 3, but they're going to get the 3 again because they're competing for the 5. So they're not actually getting a reward, and they're probably going to be disappointed when they miss, which whoever misses, right? And then there's going to be the people that would like to compete for the 3, but they're not trying to compete with the people competing for the 5. So it's a really clunky system right now with how it feels. And Dave has I think, a pretty elegant solution that I think is reasonable.
I'm not worried about it. We'll get it figured out, and it's just a challenge. It's a challenge for me to be excited about Scourge content. Like, I don't know what they can do to fix it. I have no idea how they can address it appropriately because at some point in time, right, there are going to be, whatever that number is, 10, 20, 30 accounts that all have the same rosters, right? You got your characters 5 diamond, etc. Like, you're going to just be kind of competing in those circles. And the difference is I just don't want it to count turns. Like, that doesn't feel like
That's
it's
not
any
fun.
better in any meaningful way. Um, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. And there's other PVE content in other games that I've been playing that is very similar, right? Like, you got to reset till you get it right. You got to keep trying to get it right, and that is very rewarding because also the rewards that you get are just once I get the strategy and I figure out the RNG and I beat it, right? I'm good to go. I'm good to go. In a
Which this kind of goes back to like my conversation about the tower, right? If things are difficult enough and I have to actually like implement strategy and figure it out and develop something accordingly, I think that is so fun. That's the free to play aspect that I'm getting to engage with, right? That I'm not getting to experience on my account. Because that's exactly what free to play is having to do, right? They're having to build a little bit, pivot a little bit, change something, try different things, look for ways to get an advantage to get over it, right? Get over the hump. Meanwhile, my account just clicks auto. Like that's exactly what I mean by that. And same thing with like the breaker event when I described it, right? That's the breaker event up until this point, right? That's the breaker event before you really went to the tippy tippy top. Um, and they seem to just not be able to figure out the tippy tippy top, right? We need some pocket dimensions, dark dimension content. That's only fun thing left in the game. IMO. I like dark dimensions. I think that they need to get dark dimensions more in the normal rotation. Um, I think people should be chasing. I the like people are chasing Annihilus, right? But Annihilus is so fast. Like I almost like wish it was like the old systems where you were like slowly unlocking your characters, and as you like progressed a little bit, you worked on the node a little bit at a time. Like I miss some of that kind of stuff. And the pocket dimensions were fun too, like having to roll through those and try to complete them within the 10 days that you needed without coring the crap out of it. I thought that was also pretty enjoyable. So I think those would be good things to get back in the rotations. I think they got scared of it because they made the negative zone the worst experience possible. The negative experience zone was having to run it every single day was a little overwhelming.
Leaderboard content. The Scourge is PvE, but the leaderboard aspect is technically PvP,
Yep.
right? So that's the problem that for me is like it's just it's that person had more time to about reset the node X number more times or this that and the other. I'm just not going to get into that type of time sink, right? Like that's really what it is. It's a time sink at that point, right? Whereas in other games, like, hey, once you get the puzzle figured out and you're done, like you're good, you've got the reward. Go farm, go do whatever it is, right? You've hit that threshold, right? So if somebody were to tell me, hey, if you could do a max packed run for Silver Surfer and under whatever turn limit is, you're going to get a 5 diamond. Great, I will try till my heart's content. I'm not going to try till my heart's content just for somebody else to then do it again right after. Like, there's just no shot. Like, that's not happening. Like, that's bullshit. That is absolutely bullshit. But if Scopely, if you were to come out and say, hey, everybody who hits 11 million points or whatever the number is, 11 billion or whatever it is, right? Whatever that number is, if you do a max pack run, you get a 5 diamond Silver Surfer. No problem. If you can do it, right? Or
See, I think that's an awesome solution. Hey, here's the wall you have to overcome. If you can overcome this, you get the reward. Sign me up. How do I get to be a part of that? Like, because that sounds awesome. I'm perfectly fine figuring it out and working through the strategy, right? Build the UI to fit it. Hey, count the turns for me, so I don't have to count them. So that way I can figure out where I need to be. Let me see the nodes, how many turns I took on that node. Let me figure out where I can get an advantage, right? And start figuring it out.
do it in the certain turns. Do the calculations. And I realize that's a lot of math. If you were to do that,
Yeah, that's what I want, G man. I want to like the Mephisto chase was like exactly what I was like referencing. Where I used to like constantly make little progressions towards it, right? And hey, if I do this and collect these items, then I can take this team in over time and slowly start working towards it. And I remember like chasing that stuff and being excited for doing that long-term chase. I think that is one thing that Raid, and I hate Raid as a game mode. I know everybody hates that game. Um, I think that's one thing Raid has figured out is there is a long-term chase that you work for throughout lots of different game modes and different things that I think is very effective, and wish Marvel Strike Force would do something similar. What's up, Miss Hyde? Welcome in. How's it going? Hopefully you had an awesome stream. So welcome in, welcome in. But this leaderboard isn't about who spent the most. The top 20 will have rosters so close you couldn't tell them apart. Yes, this is the breaker event, guys. This is not a spender leaderboard. This is rosters that are very built, right, and can achieve things. This is rosters where this is probably rosters nicer than mine achieving this. In Dave's world, I probably don't compete at that level because there's other people that can put in that same level of effort and are willing to put in that same level of effort, which probably kicks me down, which is okay. But that that just puts my roster probably more in line with where it should be. And that's okay. Maybe I can figure out how to take enough, a few enough turns that I can make that happen, right? With enough effort. It's possible. Sometimes I can out exceed Scopely's expectations. What's up, Garrick? Welcome in. So things like that I think would be cool. I think those are kind of things that would, and I got to watch some of Beta do some of his attacks and things as he was doing some of this, and I could just tell like his level of roster, he was killing things so much faster than I kill things, right? His turn time, his timetable for like doing node 2, right, is was like probably 10 turns faster than mine, just to give you guys a little bit of perspective on what it took to get through that. So much that he was like not getting back to cooldowns at the time I expected him to get back to cooldowns before he pushed the wave on. I was like, interesting. I'm like, that's kind of really, really neat.
I would have incentive. I do
What's
have
up, Miss
no
Hyde?
incentive to do everything that I can to achieve what I think should be a score that would warrant that, right? Put in 30, 40, 50 hours in a Scourge trying to do this. Like if you've got to run the Scourge 10 times and it takes 3 hours roughly, right? I think my non-max pack run took me about 3.5 hours.
That would
So I'm gonna
take
say with a
me
max pack and you got to do a
maybe
couple more
more.
resets of this, that, and the other, maybe 3.5, 4 hours. Grats if you could do it faster. Uh, if you didn't hear, my eyes rolled back into my head as fast as I can. Grats if you can do it faster. I'm sure there's people slower than me. I'm sure there's people faster than me. I feel like I'm a very average player at this game, right? I'm very average. That being said, the issues that will run into is like, if you got to keep doing this 10 times, like how many times is it going to take, right, to keep going? That's a 50-hour investment just for me to get knocked out at the 11th hour. And especially when the leaderboard closes, while people are working. And look, that's the other problem. Leaderboard has to close at some point in time. It always has to close. And there's always going to be somebody working. All right. It just because it's better for me doesn't mean it's better for you, this, that, and the other, right? I get that. I totally get that. But from my perspective, I'm not going to put all that effort into it and have those Scourge do that. So I would love to see Scourges move to more of a, hey, look, if you hit this number of points, boom, you get it. It's the milestone. And I understand those are milestones. I get that. I think the leaderboard element has got to go. I just think it's got to go.
I agree.
I think it's
I think that would be
toxic,
great.
and it breeds a certain amount of area where all of the players who are going to compete for either the 1 spot or the top 10 spot or the top 20 spots, all of those players are doing the things that Scopely would like from a customer standpoint, right? Right? Like, that's what I don't understand. Not only are they doing the things to be customers and now invest that much at time, get it.
Well, and even to Dave's idea, I don't even think it would be, and to Royalty's comment, I don't even think it would be a bad idea to make the top milestone almost unachievable. And I think Dave said it in this video. I'm pretty certain he does. I think I remember him doing that. Almost unachievable, right? And just slowly lower it, bring it down, right? And that way it's something that can come back. You can try harder, right? And do it again. And maybe you've gotten better at it. You've made some notes. You've figured it out, right? You now know how to do better. You've acquired some diamonds. You've acquired some purple ISO. You've acquired whatever, right? Gear Tier 21. You've unlocked an Nihilus. All of these things might play a role in reducing your turn count the next time this rolls back in, right? And they can lower it because, hey, we didn't quite hit the amount of people that we really wanted to hit the 5 diamond character or the 3 diamond character, whatever it might be, right? And they can tweak the number down next time it comes back, which is kind of what I expected them to do this time, but they didn't do it. I was very surprised they didn't. They've tried to make things supposedly unachievable, and we achieved them. There are a lot of people that are very smart at this game, and they achieve some things that are pretty amazing. Even now, I think what they've achieved in turn counts is pretty crazy.
Figured out. Get it figured out. If only 17 people, right, have the rosters to achieve the right score, right? And of those 17 people, only 12 of them have the time, money, energy, effort to figure it out. Maybe they should all have a 5 diamond character. Like it's mind numbing that it should only be that one leaderboard spot that's so dependent upon people fighting and doing this the entire way up. So, look, if you like that format, keep playing it. All right, great. If that format is what works for everybody, okay, great. I'll be quiet. I'm just sharing my opinion because I've heard a lot of people say I'm not doing another run. I've heard a lot of people who could absolutely compete for the number 1 spot or very close to it say I'm not doing another run. I'm just not doing it. So I know I'm not alone in this. And yeah. And if we're all crybabies and we're not happy and you don't like us, keep running the Scourge. Do your thing. I don't care. That's fine. If the next breaker comes out and says this is the way, I would not be upset if it's a full max pack score and I've got to smash my head against the wall to get that score. And guess what? Maybe I took too many turns so I don't get that score and I got to redo it. Okay, I understand. I understand at that point in time of like, okay, cool. That makes sense. Hell, on the first run, make it unachievable.
Yep, there
Make
it
it
is.
unachievable. That
I
would have
agree.
been amazing, right?
I almost thought this was
But
going to be
I
unachievable at
digress.
first.
It is what it is. The second run that you do, you may be able to make some changes. I think people would really like that. I really do. But the leaderboard aspect really has to go. And that brings me to another point. Let's talk about leaderboards in general. So we know what happened, with the exploits and we're kind of coming down off the end.
See the Battle World bonus nodes and the people that were bitching about. There were people not happy about Battle World. Who is this guy? I don't know, stranger. They have something working. Who's the perfect candidate to test the Scourge? I mean, I don't know. Like, so Battle World was an interesting one, right? Battle World started with almost no rewards. They did make some modifications to it. People were not happy that they can't do certain aspects of it, but that's the whole intent of some of this like long-term content. It's not supposed to be achievable day one. I think they need to teach that to people instead of just pivoting it away. Now, I do think Battle World didn't feel right when it launched. The reward structure and knowing that it was like a 6-month time frame, like you were never gonna have the character ready, and by the time the character's good, like you're already past the character. I think it's a little different with like luxury resources like diamonds, where it's like you're chasing like a carrot on a stick kind of thing, right? Instead of like just the functionality of the character and unlocking him. I think that's a little bit different because I do think locking characters away past their like lifespan is not healthy for the game. So I do think the battle world changes were merited. Um, I do think that it felt off knowing that we already are talking about the next battle world guy, which is a little strange, right? You only know of one new story in the NFL, the Lions. So it's a little interesting. Okay, let's listen to the leaderboard
To
part.
that, hopefully they'll stop getting matched in Crucible soon, and people will really stop talking about it. Right? I think that's what's going to happen. Now, the downside to that is it felt like there was going to be some sort of compensation rewarded for the players who were kind of impacted by this. I've not seen any compensation.
Me neither.
I've not heard of any compensation.
Me neither.
Maybe it's still coming. That's the only reason why I say let's not let it die. Is like let's figure that out. What are we doing for players? What are we doing? What's happening here? Mixed with all that, right? Where the content is, where everything's at. This is kind of where my head's at. With Marvel Strike Force. So like I'm logging in, do my raids real quick. That's it. Like I really don't care about CC. War. It's never been my dream. It's never been my thing, So, it is what it is. And we're gonna just keep moving forward with Marvel Strike Force for as long as we can. Yeah, there's going to be more videos coming. Not this week. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you. If you made it this far, consider hitting that subscribe button. It goes a long way to help me out. Would greatly appreciate that. Bye.
Really appreciate your video, Dave. I like that one. You get an upvote from me. Great video. Go. Give you a comment. I really like that video, Dave. I think that was a awesome take on some of the things that need to happen in this game. I very much agree on the leaderboard part. I'm still waiting to see what they do for stuff. I think they need to offer some sort of refund, partial refund for very specific offers for the leaderboard for the people that spent on. That's personally my take, but that's just me. Whether they'll do it or not, we'll see. I don't know. I joined late, but where's the Scourge leaderboard discussion that video? Yes, it was Nick. So David talked about his discontent with the Scourge leaderboard is what I'm gonna say, and he did his one run and he's not really wanting to do another run. I don't blame him. I've done another run and it's not that fun. We've now hit the point of I think every one of the I don't know if these 330s are, but I know the 350 is for sure a max packed run. Where up to 22 people have done max packed runs, right? And I think people are not having fun counting turns. We broke the system. They wanted it to be unachievable, and we achieved it, right? And it's not just one person achieved it. These are very average accounts that are achieving it, right? Look at this average guy. I'm very average. I'm not a monster-sized account, and I'm achieving it. And I'm not the only one. Like, there's quite a few people that have done it, right? Here's, I think, another pretty average size. Here's an even smaller account, right? These are average size players achieving max packs, which is supposed to be impossible um, for the system. And so now it's become count the turns. How can you abuse the system? How can you break the PV event? And that's when we are like, ugh, gross. So Dave's suggestion was to change this system, right? Get rid of leaderboard altogether, but instead be a system of score X amount of points, whatever number they've deemed for that reward, right? Very high number, maybe unachievable on the first run of the breaker event, right? And if you achieve that number and you count the turns accordingly to get to that number and you achieve that score, you just get that item, right? You just get it. You don't have to place a certain number compared to everybody else. And that way, because all of these players spent a lot of money, they put the time in, they all did the same things. It just happens to be one person did slightly better. Um, that it's not a very fun system because of that. And because people can kick you out in the 11th hour, right? So I think that is a awesome take personally, as far as like trying to fix it. First Shadow King run is the only time I have or will count turns, but then the top 10 people couldn't get duplicate diamond rewards. Oh, and that's the other issue is like right now people can get duplicates, right? But then the top 10 people couldn't get duplicate diamond rewards. Right, Nick, and that's the other issue. And it's, there are people right now that are competing amongst this group that have already achieved some of these diamonds, right? And they're taking spots away from other people that are trying to achieve it. But they're not really like doing it maliciously. They're just trying to compete for the next spot, right? It just is what it is, and it's kind of like a broken system. It almost feels like, which is why I like Dave's idea so much. Um, it does expand the amount of diamonds out there, though. It definitely does, right? But it rewards the people that put in the effort, and put in the money, right? There's a certain amount of money involved in it too, right? They aren't getting rid of leaderboards. I think they could for the breaker events. I think getting rid of the breaker leaderboards would not hurt anything. I think it would actually encourage a bigger level of like engagement, because then like the lines of where things are. And I do think Dave is onto something as far as how you start it. Um, like what if this was like 11-5 was rank 1 on the first run, right? If this was 11-5 and unachievable, just nobody did that the first run, right? That would have been nobody got a 5 diamond round 1. I think that's okay. And maybe they figure out, hey, nobody got even close to that. We lower it a little bit, right? Now it's 11-450. Hey, 2 people got this time. All right, well maybe that's not quite the right number either. Maybe that we only wanted 1. Well, now it's 1175. What I don't know. You get the idea, right? I'm already at 2, but I would like to get a 3. I doubt I will do another run. Yeah, exactly, G-Man. So you already have the 2, but you would like the 3. So you're competing for the 3, but you're taking up a spot for the 2. Which I'm not saying that you shouldn't be, because you should be, right? Um, it's just kind of is what it is. I was trying. I kind of was like initially trying for the 3, but I was like, I really don't belong here, right? I want the 2, which is like it's fine. Like, but technically, if I get bumped out, then I'm taking up a spot for the 1. Same idea, and so I'm hurting other people just because I went and competed for the 2, right? Same idea. I already got the 2, and I'm not even bothering. It's pointless. Right, and then there's Nick, who's on the other side of the coin, where I'm already achieved X reward. To compete for the third, I'm not willing to put in the time, which I think is also a problematic group of players. Which is not saying it's just you, Nick, because I think there's others too. I was in your wheelhouse last time. I was like, well, I got the 1. I don't want to compete for the 2. Same idea. Not going to slam my head into the wall for 10 plus hours and not get the upgrade. Yep. Which I think it creates more engagement from players because they at least know the wall of what they have to achieve, right? Instead of this like moving conveyor belt. And like right now, like Asgaz and Robert are competing, right? They've moved places at least 3 times that I'm aware of. And one of them is going to miss, right? It's guaranteed that one of them misses. And I feel bad for whoever misses because both of these players have put in a substantial amount of time to do this, right? It feels bad for whoever loses it. And I think both players are playing exceptionally well and have had exceptional rosters and are actively trying to get it. Like, so, I kind of think they both deserve it. They both have put up that score that I think's like deserving of a one. See, I'm a nice guy. If I get 2,500, I'll do a milestone run or pay the alliance members to log in to do a 1K run. See, and I think it goes all the way down the leaderboard too. Like, I think there's a number that they can like. I think they have the data. I'm pretty certain they have the data where they can figure out how many breakers need to be achievable within a time. And if it misses badly, maybe you lower it a little bit extra, right? There you get the data to go with it. So I think an unachievable thing on the first run is not that bad. And then you can adjust accordingly. So I really love the milestone idea. I think it helps all levels be more engaged. And it helps people like it almost makes them compete with themselves instead of competing with each other. And because of that, it also makes the reward more prestigious, I think. If this is a certain like level of achievement, right? And the milestone is 11.5. Now when you see this, hey, this is somebody that did an 11.5 run. That's pretty impressive. Dang, they can definitely play the game, right? This is as actually pushed me down on spinning. I'm no longer getting 7-star characters. Interesting, Diamond Dave. I'll be honest, I put a little bit of thought into this, but I haven't really thought about this mode as like whether I'm spending on a character or not. Um, I have thought about it just ever so slightly because of the new team. Like the new team, I want to get them online for the event, but I haven't been thinking about it that hard. Amazing, like super small, right? Haven't really hardly built them at all. Normally that would be a 5-star Rachel right now. I want something to do a reason to log in more than one time a day. So when Rachel comes out into the chapter store, I'll have a reason to spend the tarot credits. And that's how I feel about Toxin right now. Um, I don't like the current price pointing that they have for offers, so I'm intentionally not buying the character, even though I want the character. I could buy the character. I would rather have a reason to refresh the store. Um, I hate saying it, but I don't feel like there's anything in the chapter store I actually want. At least when this character comes to the store, I'll have something that actually wants, right? This character nearly maxes just from the battle pass. So I have a little bit to get there, but not a lot. So it's a really weird situation. And I'm super like bad about this. Like my chapter store, I have 4.2 million currency to spend in 34 days. I literally need to start hitting the buttons and buying like literally everything on the screen. It's kind of clunky. But everything looks like this, 900 plus of stuff. Even this stuff down here, I technically don't need it because I don't have enough gear tier 21 to support it. So like this stuff doesn't really support me that much either. It all feels like very luxury, which is a little clunky. And this big limited store that they offered, like, really wasn't that exciting. That's your fault. I mean, it is, but it isn't. I mean, there's nothing that's actually like that beneficial to me. I'm just in a weird spot, right? Oh, I'm buying more stuff now. It is what it is. I'll make it empty. It's fine. Won't take me that long. Yeah, I'll buy shards. I'm waiting for Toxin. Once Toxin enters, then I'll be buying stuff because then Toxin will be here and I'll be able to find Riot and Toxin at the same time. And I'll probably buy these characters just because they're here, but I don't know. They weren't that exciting. We'll be fine. I'm not worried at all. In Gear Tier 20, like I technically need more of this stuff, so be buying this stuff too, except for skill. You can see I have 1,000 of that crap. So we'll see. The regular leaderboards, I also think they need to make changes, but I think they made some pretty good changes with the outside of my displeasure for the leaderboards, right? Um, because of the whole scenario that happened. I actually think they made pretty good changes to the leaderboard last week, for the average player. Because and it's going to get better if they put cores in the system, right? Because of what they did, it made the milestone objectives, which we kind of talked about a little bit in the breaker event, more like reachable and chaseable, which I think helped raise the entire like milestone up substantially for spending, which I think was good for the average game for the leaderboard. Um, I'm pretty skeptical of this upcoming leaderboard groups thing. What is that, Nick? I don't think I know what that is. You're gonna have to explain that one to me. But what are leaderboards looking like tomorrow when they divide the player base? Did I not read that? Let's go read that. I don't remember that. I don't read blogs very well. I mostly scroll them and go, ew. The next Diamond Leader event flying your way, giving you a chance to climb the ranks and earn up to a 5 Diamond Angel will ring. Bring the heat and push for every point. You fight your way to rewards. To help with the exalting. For specific events, players will be able to split. For this specific event, players will be split into multiple leaderboard groups to compete, providing a better opportunity to fight for the ultimate reward. So keep an eye out for the start of this event and leave your mark in the Earn Angel's biggest prize. Huh. So they're trying to split up who gets the 5 diamond. I wonder what the breakpoints are going to be. See, I didn't even read this because I wasn't interested in Angel at all. I already have Wolverine and Angel doesn't do anything. I was like, whatever. I didn't even read that. Huh. I bet you the breakpoints are tight because of this. That's not cryptic at all. Was in the data mines a while back. Could be Nick. I doubt it. I bet you they've made decisions accordingly to split people up. I bet you they split. I almost bet you they split people up based off spending practices. I'm betting there's a certain level of big spenders in them. I'm betting there's a certain level of average spenders in them. I'm betting there's a certain level of free to play in them. Is my guess. All of Galactus will be in one bracket. Surely they don't do that. That would end poorly, I think, for them, right? I would think they would want to split the Galactus up intentionally. I think they'd get more money out of all of Galactus if only 2 or 3 Galactus compete against each other instead of all of Galactus. They leave out the 2 banned ones. uh, be an interesting leaderboard for sure. Which I don't know. Crazy. They hard coded to put Tadano in Dave's bracket. I never compete with him on the leaderboard. Not one time have I even tried. Not in my neighbor. Not my neighborhood. Yeah. Not really though. If they split them up, they won't have to spend as much. If this group of few hundred players and only 20 get 5 diamond, it's going to be much more competitive. Well, the problem, Nick, is if you put them all together, there is a world where people just disengage, right? And I think they have to be careful about that. if there's too many people and some that that are not, like Dave just said, not in my neighborhood, um, then they just like say I'm good. I'm just not going to spend, right? And they have to be careful about that situation. Um, which I'm sure this is manipulation to some degree. We just don't know how much and if it's probably not favorable to the player. I wouldn't think. This is probably trying to encourage a larger group of players to spend than the current group that they have, right? It's definitely going to be manipulated, right? This is probably a ploy to try to get people to spend on a bigger level. The only way of competing is if I go nuclear. No, if they split the spenders, then Scalpo will make way less money because the spenders will be competing against fewer spenders. Imagine, well, imagine if one spender spends 1K, but the cores and but cones in seconds, but the second only spends 600 and gets the first. That'll be interesting, and you guys know how the arena shards are, which is going to be. I wonder what the grouping's going to be. How wide they're going to make the grouping. Um, because the arena shards are interesting, right? The arena shards are very different. Just to give you a little perspective, like this arena shard has literally no Annihilus in it, and nobody's even close. I'm actually one of the bigger of accounts in this grouping. Um, so like for my grouping, and maybe this is me trying to encourage like the middle group to spend more. Um, I'm betting there's somebody top that's going to be in there no matter what. Like not talking top, right? Talking like just trying to get a wider group of players to spend. It's probably trying to get people. Only way to beating. Did you pass that on to Zaston? No, I don't want that video getting any unneeded views. Maybe they think the smaller spenders will spend more to get the top prize. That's kind of what I'm thinking, Faded. I'm thinking they're going to try to. You want to laugh? Watch this. Will this get me DMCA'd? What is this? Permanent ban 10,000 accounts. Uh-oh. Should I watch the whole video or from your points?
расходы. И вот как раз
Oh, what? Why? All right, let's turn on. Oh, go away. Oh, okay, we have he's got titles in here.
Всем привет, дорогие друзья! Меня зовут Тимур, известный как Дикий Башкир, основатель и глава крупнейшего в СНГ кластера Nuclear, мобильной игре Marvel Strike
I've never
Force.
even heard of this alliance.
И сегодня мы поговорим о событиях, прошедших недавно в нашей любимой с вами игре. И выскажем позицию активных игроков, которые посвятили этой игре не день, не месяц, а несколько лет.
You want me to read it? I'm not reading this to you guys. You want me to narrate it, and there's no way you guys are gonna get a ridiculous narrative. Oh my Lanta. I'll see if I can keep up. The game attracted millions of players with iconic characters of Marvel Comics TV shows and movies. That alone gave players confidence in the project because Disney doesn't hand out Marvel license to just everyone. The game has always had its strengths and weaknesses. While there aren't that many game modes, such as campaigns, arena raids, alliance war, cosmic crucible, battle world, and limited time events, they used a genuinely fun to play something something. During the game's early years, there was a real strategic variety. Players experimented with different approaches and tried to be absolutely most of out of every character. A bio lane and a raid, let's clear it with a military Hulk team. Alliance War gave players even more freedom to experiment with creative team compositions and strategies. This looks like AI. What did you what did all this eventually turn into? The developers made it increasingly clear that there wasn't how they wanted the game to be played. Over time, they introduced mechanics and forced players to down single paths requiring specific teams for specific content. The developers made it increasingly clear that it wasn't how they wanted the game. I've already done all that. Remember when the old Greek raids were replaced with Spotlight raids, where you were required to build a dedicated team? Then even the bioskill and other trait-based raid lanes were replaced with content that required specific teams instead. Alliance War followed the same direction, although at least that mode still has seasonal rotations and temporary team buffs. The real problem was character design itself. Their abilities became interconnected, and they were forced to build entire teams instead of individual characters, like the Mighty Avengers or the Vigilante. You could easily say that it's just minor complaints and that nobody is forcing you to build those teams. And you'd be right if you weren't one of the major problems in introducing sagas and epic characters. It all started with Apocalypse, who required players to unlock a fully built 23 different characters. From there was only snowballed. Every new epic character with even higher requirements and less time to prepare, the game gradually turned into a race. Either you kept up with the progression or you were left behind, unable to participate in most active and engaging parts of the game. We started by saying that Marvel brand brought players into the game, but we truly made it special was its community. Whether you played or climbed the leaderboard, socialized and simply collect characters, there was always an alliance or in community that you belonged. Players came together to better understand the game, shared strategies and experience, and simply enjoy talking with the fellow Marvel fans. The community discovered creative team compositions, unique ability combinations, created guides and videos, and even gave rise to well-known community content creators. What did they all do to eventually become? Strategic variety was slowly stripped away. Players tolerated bugs and forgave them, time and time again, with the game introduced so-called quality of life improvements that let players beat their other effortlessly with press of a single button. Auto battle. All right, what's auto battle? As the game evolved, so did its community. The player base grew. The game became more popular, and naturally, so did the number of dissatisfied players. The community kept discovering clever interactions, budget-friendly ways to clear events, climb the arena rankings, and outplay opponents in Alliance War. But the whales didn't like that. The players spending the most money wanted the investment to matter, and the development listened. Little by little, they changed the characters and released to reduce the number of free shards available throughout events and orders while giving paying players extra shards. Fine, we adapted, we got through it. Dang whales. It's all the whales' fault, guys. But that wasn't enough. There came the ISO 8 tiers and adding another layer of paid stat progression. We adapted to that as well. It wasn't great, but it wasn't the game changing. Dang whales. Then diamonds were introduced and we adapted again, but even that wasn't enough. They came overpowered. For the first time, players who spent money and upgraded their characters first gained a direct gameplay advantage because there was simply no other way to obtain these upgrades. Freaking whales, man. Dang overpowered. Personally, I think it's Plankton's fault. Dave, this is your fault. That's straight up pay to win. Can you imagine that? Neither could we, yet somehow we adapted to that too. Think that was the end? Developers went one step further by locking earlier character access behind a paywall. You literally cannot unlock a new character through normal gameplay until much later, but if you pay, you get immediate access. How dare you pay for early time investment? Is this their idea of fair play? Is it really what we're supposed to tolerate? Their mistakes, their bugs, their approach to the game design? Don't want to pay? Then don't. Just deal with it. But if you do decide to spend, hey, I don't know what that one said. So let's take a look. While you're accidentally getting, if you choose to play the developers' rules, let's say you're willing to spend a little money, nothing crazy, just enough to support the game. Let's say you're willing to spend a little money, nothing crazy. What battle? The same thing, of course, the battle pass. Oh, first purchase the battle pass. Gotcha. The most common, arguably fairest form of monetization in mobile game, not just and then not just mobile games. Yeah, I would agree. That's usually my first thought. For a fixed monthly price, you receive a reasonable amount of resources to help speed up your progression. Yup. For example, most monthly subscriptions or battle passes are anywhere between $5 and $30. Typically last for 1 month. Not in this game. What? Mobile Legends, Marvel Snap. Sure. Some of these offer multiple battle passes and tiers, but overall price range stays roughly the same. But what about our beloved game? I'm about to give them $40. In MSF, the battle pass costs $20, but there's only one catch. It only lasts 2 weeks, and they add up to $40 per month. For that kind of money, I'd expect to get a huge amount of resources, right? So giving them $40 today is not a good idea? Is that what you're saying? But during those same 2 weeks, the game releases an entire team of 5 characters, some reworked and some brand new, and the resources from a single battle pass is barely enough to build one of them. Oh no. So what's the developer solution? A second battle pass for another $40 a month. And the ridiculous price isn't even the biggest problem. Each battle pass contains different resources. How dare they have different resources? You can't buy just one battle pass to get a little of every resource. The rewards are split between the two. How dare you spend money in this mobile game? So if you need a specific resource, your only option is to buy both battle passes for a total of $80 a month. And even then, the rewards are barely enough to build a single team. Oof. Don't worry, hopefully he's getting to the team pricing next. So as much for fair play in that you're not even counting the events that require you to spend premium currency, the overpriced limited time offers in the store, or the manipulative pricing tactics. Dude has zero clue. Dave did say this was funny. First, they offer one price with one amount of resources, and then they just a few days later, a much better value offer suddenly appears. By the time the game reached its 8th anniversary, players had seen it all. They didn't matter whether they're free to play or paying player. Everyone noticed the same trend. Every year, the requirements, progression, pace, character release schedule, and prices kept increasing. Kind of true. Kind of agree with that part. He's comparing it to Fortnite. By the time the game, no, it reached the point where even paying players couldn't keep up anymore. Even they had to choose what was worth buying. So everyone made their own decisions. Some quit the game, some switched to free to play, and started playing much more casually. Yeah, if it doesn't fit you, that's what you do, right? You make a decision. Others looked for ways to reduce their spending, and that's where players found an alternative. Marvel Strike Force used the same pricing model. It's no secret that every country has different economies and different purchasing power. That's why in-game pricing often vary from region to region. Uh-oh. Is this where it gets fun? You could travel to another country, open the game, and find prices were significantly lower than back home. And honestly, who would turn down a deal like that? When developers keep tightening the screws, players will eventually start looking for every legitimate opportunity to reduce their spending. Anyone feel like legitimate is a stretch here? Yeah, virtually changing your region is technically a violation of terms of service, but it was the developers themselves who pushed it into looking for a solution like that. Against terms of service and legitimate seem like they contradict each other. Even then, the money is still flowing into the developer's pocket. Lower regional price allowed more players to spend money, creating healthier competitive competition on the leaderboards and gave the game a second wind. So you letting these players spend less money, let me spend more money? Let's go. Man, I'm feeling great about this. Players got to afford affordable prices and the developers still made their money. Everyone benefited. What did we get in return for our loyalty, dedicated, and love for this game? Hopefully a band. Because we haven't talked about my pain in this. We got permanently banned. Yes. Good. Like in any game, there's always been a group of players who were unhappy about something. That's just the reality of modern gaming. First, paying players complained that they weren't getting enough value for their money. Later, another wave of complaints from players themselves were fair players and true free-to-play players. So the developers launched their own investigation. Thousands of suspected accounts were suspended for 72 hours. Apparently, the developers decided what to do next. This is clearly my fault. How dare I get these players banned? And in the end, they rolled back the progression of every affected account to an earlier point in the time and allowed everyone to keep playing. Fair enough. That actually sounds reasonable. No, not even remotely close. Oh my Lanta. Players came back, continued playing, and even started spending money again, paying fair prices set by the developers themselves. No, they didn't. I have proof of that. um, oh my Lanta. Then just 1 week later, we were banned again, this time permanently. How? Why? For what? There was far more questions than answers. The punishment had already been carried out, progression had been rolled back, and rewards had been removed, and players had already paid the price. Gotta be kidding me. Oh my Lanta. Nobody understood what was happening. The developers published a blog post full of vague statements, offered no concrete explanation, hid behind generic wording. Well, that part's true. We never received a single clear answer. That's still true. The official reason was simply using exploits. Beyond that, everyone was left to interpret it however they wanted. Meanwhile, the sponsored content creators and official content creator partners immediately started labeling every band player as a cheater, because you are. They celebrated, proudly cheering, "Hooray, the cheaters are finally gone!" Wake up! They banned nearly 80% of the game's most active players, people who regularly spent money, built their community, created strategies, and kept the competitive scene alive. You gotta be kidding me. 80%, guys. Freaking delusional, man. And now they're simply gone. My Lanta. Is this really what you wanted? Did you really want permanently ban the most loyal and dedicated players? Honestly, I'm so glad this guy's banned. My Lanta. Uh, People invested more than just money into this game. They invested something far more valuable, their time. That's pretty true. Is this supposed to be something we're grateful for? Something we're supposed to celebrate? I think we should celebrate this. We spent years helping your game grow. We kept it alive. We played it for 8 years, and only to be rewarded with a slap in the face, a knife in the back, a complete disrespect for everything we contributed. So this is how the developers value their community. Well, I'm pretty certain that your cheaters need to go. We tolerated terrible design decisions. We tolerated bugs. We tolerated an exhausting release schedule, outrageous prices, and painful scarce resources. So did I, except I paid full price. We were willing to keep forgiving all of it because we generally love this universe and this game. Instead, we received permanent bans over relatively minor violations and weak excuses from the developers. Minor violations. So you're literally admitting guilt right there. They call it protesting fair play while updating after update. We're the ones destroying the fairness themselves. Hypocritical, disgraceful, shameful. Oh my Lanta. Any trust or respect for these developers is gone, and it's gone for good. I have no desire to play a game developed this way. In the future games published by this company, I've already left my 1-star review in my feedback. Good. You can go play your next game. Maybe see how they treat you on your interesting pricing options. I hope it works out for you there. I've shared this story from my perspective as someone who's been deeply invested in this game for many years. I'm glad you think this was a legitimate option. Many of you know me. We've played together for years, fought side by side, and helped each other along the way. It's truly heartbreaking to see characters come to an end like this. So I have one request. I know I've argued with some of you and become close friends with others, but that's exactly what made Marvel Strike Force feel alive. So what's your one request, buddy? I'll do for you, pal. There were always funny moments, unforgettable stories, and that's what gave the game its soul and made it so much more than just another mobile game. And at the end of the day, you weren't just playing a game; you were playing with people. How in love are you with DJ Tanner? Who's DJ Tanner? Is this who this guy is? So thank you for everyone I met and everyone incredible journey. Those are who became friends and those who became rivals, even those I disagree with. Everyone helped me, the community. And oh, from Full House? Oh, I didn't even think about him. Let me know what you think. Everyone's happened to leaving a comment below. Share your own story, whether you're already quit or you're still playing today. I'd love to hear about your journey. Not promoting the guy, guys. I'm sorry. Oh, my Lanza. Oh, it's something I used to say at work a lot. If you think this story deserves to be heard, please like the video and share it with your friends. The more people, oh, but that's gone. That's about attacking anyone and making the developers stop and think about the direction you're taking with Marvel Strike Force. I'm counting on you all. I'd also like to personally thank everyone that helped me make this video possible. XFX, leader of Nuclear Stardust, for helping prepare the script. I don't know who Nuclear Stardust is. Never heard of him. Oh, was this part of the Nuclear Boys or whatever? Isn't that what their name of their alliance was? Helping with the video editing. I think that's the name of them, right? And they were all like almost all banned. Most thanks to Grove providing English translations to international viewers and fellow players. I think it's Nuclear Boys. I think we were next to them in war on the leaderboard. There's a bunch of them that got banned. And that must be who it is. Making more sense now. Is it over? This isn't goodbye. I'm sure we'll meet again. Different game. Take care, everyone. Bye. Oh, 387 views. I've been playing for 6 years. It gets worse. What do you say? The game's coming to an end. Do the most crappy thing possible. It completely kills the community. Hope some kind of response from the developers. Question is important. The game initially hooked me, hooked me because I could play without donations and achieve good results. But alas, a brilliant capitalizing apocalypse saga. Comments are boring. I didn't mean to downvote you. I was trying to translate it to you. All right, I'm bored of them. Here, I'll let you guys. We'll promote his video just for funsies. I'll let you guys respond accordingly. I'm gonna downvote it. Oh man, poor guy. That is a wild. He did things legit, guys. He helped the leaderboards out. And that's not the first time I've heard that conversation and that argument, and I can't believe it. Oh yeah, Nuclear Boys have like 17 to 24 people banned. Their accounts are some of the most extreme ones I've seen, as far as like what happened. Which I think that is the alliance he was referencing. I think. Here, I think that's them. They are some of the most extreme banned accounts. But don't worry, they were helping the leaderboards inflate. It's fine. This alliance is nearly completely banned. These were some of the smallest annihilists ever. Was this one? I forget. I know this guy has it. Guess we could do this instead. 10 days ago. They were so small. 412 million. He's smaller than me. The game. That's good. This. They cause their own problems. In Russia, the game doesn't ban you. You ban the game. 16 of 24 plus one tiny. They can all start over legit. I find it funny that people think they feel sorry for them. I mean, I get where people come from with that, but I don't think people realize what actually happened in this whole deal and how impactful it really was. And that guy, he honestly described some of the things he did, which is crazy. Um, the fact that they legitimately, and he's not wrong, he did raise the price of leaderboards. I can guarantee it. Probably also raised the price of offers just because of what he was doing, because of how they were looking at the data. And to me, that they still haven't addressed these problems, by the way. Part of the reason I've stopped spending in certain aspects. Um, and it's crazy that that's the conversation that they're going down. So I wish him the best in the next game. I wonder how that'll go for him. If people cheat like that in other games, they usually don't make it. Definitely felt like an AI message with AI, AI conversation with trying to translate to English. So it was interesting. Oh yeah, it was much more. This was not just market manipulation, guys. This wasn't VPN. I can tell you this was not VPN. This was more. Um, this was much more than VPN. We're gonna leave it at that, but that's what I know. Um, and they legitimately were doing some very bad things. It's almost if someone said it from day one. I don't know if it's the day one thing, but I definitely think it's been going on for at least multiple years. I wouldn't surprise me that it's been going on for longer, which is kind of wild. And I don't know if Scopely's ever going to like fully address it, but it is a big thing in my eyes. Because honestly, like with if Scopely doesn't address it, um, there's no way I can in sound mind compete in a leaderboard, which means you just like never are competing in this game again. But that might not be a bad thing. Like this game, like I said earlier in the video before we like pivoted that direction, um, I'm having more fun with the game playing in the middle than playing at the top. I'm finding it to be a more enjoyable experience because they don't know how to cater to the top. Um, the events there's not enough like stretch to make the top feel good because they've outscaled PvP to PvE. And that's been like that for many years and it hasn't changed, right? And so playing the game in a light of PvP is less important because they can't maintain good PvP or they're maintaining PvP worse than they have in the past. Um, makes PvE more fun just by not competing at that high level. Like, just being honest. It became a huge issue after Boylan's video, and literally the bots jumped all over it. If you can't go deep, bang the how out of the sides. Oh my Lanza. They weren't doing bad things. They were paying people to log into their accounts who possibly unknowingly did bad things. Yeah, the whole situation, like it stinks of a problem, right, royalty? I'll just leave it at that. If it looks like a problem and smells like a problem and looks all of those things like that, then well, it probably is a problem. um, so it's all good though. I still hope they'll address some of that stuff. Um, and he did call out some things that kind of caught my eye a little bit. I still wonder this leaderboard that they're splitting up is going to be interesting, right? My bubble was burst completely when they wanted to compete on leaderboards at all anymore. When I saw all the list of people either played with or competed against on the list of banned players, has really changed my viewpoint of giving Scopely giving them much anymore. I mean, this kind of speaks miles to it right now. Like, and I didn't even realize they were doing this. I didn't read the leaderboard careful enough. The fact that they're splitting the leaderboard up and trying to acquire more spending this way, right? And manipulating tells me that they're not going to address the thing I want them to address. It's very interesting. I didn't compete on the last leaderboard because they haven't addressed things. It's not because I couldn't acquire the rewards, right? If I wanted the rewards, I spend the money to get the rewards. Like, it's pretty dang simple. This is no different than if they just made the marker wider if they want to, right? My guess is this is not in the player's favor. I almost can guarantee it. Am I showing it to you guys? I am not. Look at that. I'm terrible. I highly doubt this is in the player's favor. We'll see. I will definitely be asking people about this. We will definitely be talking about this tomorrow because I want to see other people's leaderboards and who's in what groups and all that stuff. So please send me that stuff. DM it to me, guys. I want to see it. Let's compare the grouping together, and we'll do that. That'll be fun. Another reason to split the leaderboards is to make mine, rages, and blow-ons work tracking the declining players via leaderboard. That's true. I'll get you a screenshot whenever I end up with. Or perhaps you can do it with a perfect slip. Well, it's 4 a.m. Gotta hop off. Have a good one, Badger. Thanks for stopping in, by the way. Appreciate you. So we'll definitely be curious on this. Well, and I mean, to your point, Royalty, it's hard to acquire new players. If Dossier's already calling out problems on his new player experience, that's tough, right? And there's actually more to that I'd love to talk to, but I don't think it's on an on-stream conversation. They're going to make more of a Raid Shadow Legends experience. What are you talking about, Rem? You think that Marvel Strike Force is going to make it more like a Raid Shadow Legends experience where it's more PvE? I think they probably do, right? Like Raid Shadow Legends does very well. I think they probably do go that route, right? Or what are you talking about? Am I off on what your conversation was? Oh, leaderboards are in Raid. I don't know that experience, so you think it's gonna be more like that? Can I find out information about that? How are leaderboards in Raid Shadow Legends? They do micro cluster events. They track global player rankings across Arena, Classic, Tag Team, and Live. They allow players to swap regions, North America, Europe, Asia, to compete, but there's an ongoing complaint about missing features like hidden champion builds and bloated whale-dominated scores. In-game leaderboard breakdown. You can check out what the stands against other players globally in your specific region. Many players have noted that the ability to change regions freely is a bit exploitable, as some competitors will switch to a less populated region to artificially appear higher on the leaderboard. Well, that makes sense. The leaderboards are separated into distinct categories, primarily focusing on different types of arena battles and PvE. One of the most common complaints on the platforms like Reddit is while you can see who's at the top, you cannot view the specific team composition. Aside from a personal leaderboard, clans are ranked based on total clan power and clan points. General receptions, opinions, and communities mix. Some players enjoy global leaderboards to observe top-tier competition and gain inspiration, while others find them irrelevant to day-to-day progression. I don't think I have the capacity for a new game. Oh, definitely not DNA. This was more a conversation. So I guess there's a new leaderboard coming, or they're doing leaderboards differently for Angel, which is why we're asking that question. I don't want to play Raid. Raid sucks. Rem was referencing that this leaderboard with being split up might be similar to Raid's leaderboards and how they function. I'm guessing this is not friendly. I'd be very surprised if this is friendly. Why else would you do this? If this was not if this was wanted to be friendly, they would just leave it as a total group, right, and just expand it out. I don't think this expands it out, and I think this is probably more restrictive, right? On release, this raid has smaller leaderboards. Do you think that's a good system, Rem? I'm curious. Like, it sounds like you know a bit about it. You sent me what a raid board looks like. Okay. You guys have sent me all kinds of messaging. Oh, interesting. Let me see what you said. Raid leaderboards example. Rewards can be vary a ton depending on what's going on. The typical dungeon leaderboard with gear shards, crafting mats. Sometimes they do an exclusive champion rewards, which means 1% of player base gets a character guaranteed. Bottom showing that it's 100 players per board, and then you have the global board. Each board that gives bonus stuff. Oh, okay. Sing one. This one out. So you have the dungeon tournament, where you're saying this is an individual leaderboard, where there's different trophies for each person. There's like stuff for it, and then like the top places get something, which I've seen like this like in like other games where there's like different reward structure. This hunt for artifacts and dragons and incredible rewards. Everybody's at 0 because they haven't participated. So what do you think? There's only 100 spots or something? And then this is the global leaderboard. I wonder how many fragments they're going to be. The global leaderboard, which is way different. Like top 3 get something, and then everybody else like falls off like a planet. Interesting. What are you guys saying? Just started my stream. If you want to raid later, oh yeah, we can. I can send you guys everybody over that way. DNA. My hope was one leaderboard for 110, one for 95 to 109, one for 74 to 94, and one for under 75 Devil's Advocate. This could be good. This would let them rain gold and training mats on lower level characters without causing an overabundance of endgame. Give you a couple. Okay, we can do that. Boards are 100 people. I'm betting they're not that small, Aston Arm. We'll see. That would be interesting. That would be wild if it's only 100 people, but I'm betting it's more than that. I mean, that would be crazy if they did that, right? Let's just say it was 100 people, right? And only the number 1 got the 5 diamond. And what top 5 got 4 or something like that. Like, that would be crazy. I mean, because what we think there's like 190,000 people. How many diamonds would that be if they only gave the number 1 to it? 190,000 people divided by 100 is 1,900. So it'd be 1,900. There's no way they'd do that, right? It's got to be bigger than that. 160,000, still too many. Divided by 100, it's still 1,605 diamonds. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way they'll do anything like that. It's too many. All right, let's just use the normal mathing that they normally use, right? Let's go. If we say it's 160,000 players, and we normally give out what 255 diamonds, right? So divided by 250, that means each leaderboard is like a 500 to 1,000 players. Interesting. 200 now. 800 players, 1K a group. 1K a group makes sense if they do that. Oh my god, that's actually that sounds problematic, to be honest. That's saying that they only the number one gets the 5 diamond, by the way. That means you have to be the top spender in your group. What happens if you get a Galactus member in your group? What happens if you get one of them? You're just not getting the 5 diamond that week? That sounds fun. What if you have to be top 5 of your spenders for a 4? Then you're fucked. What if you have to be a top 5 spender in your bracket to get a 4 diamond? Are you even competing? I don't think I'd even compete depending on who's there. What if people hide intentionally and just wait, right? I mean, that sounds really terrible, but when we start breaking it down, that doesn't sound fun at all. Um, to me, like, if I know instantly that I can't compete based on who's in the leaderboard, right, and in my group, just based on who's there, I'm already not going to spend, right? That's like A/B testing. Yeah, it's 100%. Like 100%, I just like disengage completely. If I was spending in those leaderboards, which I'm not. If I was spending right now and I was excited about them, if I knew very specific people were there that on average spend much more money than I do, why would I even engage? Like if they're that tight on the resources, um that's like an auto disengage for me. That's really interesting. Be very curious to see the groupings they do. If they split us up into 200 leaderboards and only the top one gets a 5, are you kidding me? That's kind of what I'm thinking right now, Diamond Dave. Maybe I'm wrong, and it's not that much splitting, but it sure feels like it might be if it's like raid, because that's kind of how raid's got it set up, right? It's really small grouping. They can get people to re-engage with top 5 to 10 being high-level rewards in smaller sub brackets. I mean, what that encourages, because like a lot of people probably like go for like at least my grouping, right? I'm going to use my grouping as an example, not the very tippy top. Um, I generally like to play for like 1,000 to 2,500, somewhere in that range, right? And I intentionally like go for where I think that's going to be, and then I reassess as we get closer to the end, right? That's usually how I engage with the leaderboard. Um, but if those rewards are not available to me, and it's just nothing that interests me, then I'm not going to participate, right? Like you like disengage my player base completely, at least my mindset. So we'll have to see how this plays out. I didn't even realize it said that this week. I don't think I even noticed it. Plus, they put Angel Red Stars in the milestones. Is it they want anyone to try? They would have to understand the math and the program it correctly. What did you say, Rem? They can get people to re-engage with the top 5 to 10 being high level rewards in a smaller sub bracket, or people winning for less means the means goes up. I would feel like there'd have to be more people winning for less, but I don't know if they'd do it or not. This feels like it's like anti-player, but I don't know. Like, because right now they give out 205 diamonds, right? And just based off the player base, like unless they're like doing it differently, unless they're intentionally not giving new players stuff, would that possibly be how they're doing it? I wonder if they're gonna break people up by spending like grouping. It's got to be, right? I assume it's not pure random. If they're doing it by like spending grouping, like I feel like it's gonna end poorly. If they do it by pure random, like you're literally gonna have weeks where you just don't participate, right? TCP. That could be interesting. I'm familiar with the system. Watcher has smaller leaderboards and global leaderboards too. Only one has spending elements, but it's not really money, it's points. I'm trying to translate it into how it would work here. My brain's just failing it and making it work. That would be terrible. That's kind of how like, that's kind of what I was looking at too, Diamond Dave. Like, I was watching you do your pull and tugs, right? And when you were doing your pull and tugs, I was thinking that it was really interesting on your leaderboard. So like seeing the different like things you were getting. Like you had like the blue crystals and yellow crystals and whatnot, and I was just watching. Like I didn't really understand what any of that crap is, but that's what it made me think of, and it very much reminds me of this raid one that I'm looking at that Astonarn sent over, right? Um, and so seeing that, and then seeing the very few items that are interesting in Marvel Strike Force, because there's very few, um, that makes me think that there wouldn't be. It would be really bad in Marvel Strike Force because there's not enough like things to chase, right? How do you split spending without clearly defining it and publishing it? Plus, I think they know royalty. I'm pretty certain they can pull their player base, not pull, but parse the player base, right, on spending habits, and they know what accounts spend where and how much. I think that's internal data. I'm pretty sure. And so, while it is a privacy concern, they know that information, and they can make it. They can uh, they can pin the account accordingly, right? Is what I'm going to call it. I think spending data matters. Probably every group to a degree. He was very clear he was watching OGDD doing his pull and tugs. Yes, I was watching OGDD do his pull and tugs. I'll double down on that one. But this very much reminds me of like that same system that is what they're trying to like implement. This feels like very much a snag from another game, and they're trying to see how it works in this game if they can pull it off because I'm guessing they think that that's a successful system, whatever it is, right? I don't know that it is or isn't, but it doesn't. It sounds very not good at the top. The top 200 would likely be 30 to 40% of a top 100 TCP account, maybe more. Those folks are used to getting 5 diamond reward brackets. That would be a massive change if they were no longer competing for that in the same way. Right? It'd be huge, Diamond Dave. I agree. Which is probably why they're testing with Angel, because Angel's not a very impactful character, I don't think. I think he's a very, very minimal character. Yeah, this feels like trying to copy someone else's work. Um, I think this is 100% what's about to happen, and I could be off on the numbers. Maybe they're about to give 400 away. I don't know. Maybe we have 400 angels getting going to be released this time. We really don't know. Yeah, I get where you're going with that, Diamond Dave. It definitely feels like a huge change if our prediction's right. We'll have to see tomorrow. Definitely will be interesting to look at it all, see how it all plays out. Whether it can entice people to, and I've said this a few times in my other content. I think they have to find a way to encourage people to want to spend at different levels, right? This isn't just a top only game. You can't just assume that the max spender is going to carry your game. So somehow they have to encourage the 100 to 50% player to want to spend $5, right? Or my group of players in the 20 percentile, whatever it might be. And maybe I'm not a 20 percentile. Maybe I'm a 50%. I don't know. To spend in the game, right? And somehow they have to entice all of these different groups of players to want to participate. And I don't know that this leaderboard structure is going to do that. It makes me concerned, but we'll have to see, right? This might help us move on from from the period of nonsense. Yeah, maybe. Especially since they just banned 80% of their max spenders. Also, didn't they say there were going to be multiple leaderboards that feed into this? Um, I don't think so. The next leaderboard event is Flying Your Way, giving everyone a chance to climb the ranks and earn a 5 diamond Angel Wolverine. Bring the heat, push every point, and fight your way towards rewards to help power up the Exalted X-Men support and brawler. For this specific event, players will be split into multiple leaderboard groups to compete, providing better opportunity to fight for the ultimate reward. So keep an eye out at the start of this event and leave your mark on Angel's biggest prize. So it didn't say it was like multiple feeding in. Yeah, we don't know what an input looks like. This is an event. I don't believe this is an event. This is the leaderboard. Diamond studded leaderboard event. It does say event, but I don't think it's. Yeah, they didn't tell us the inputs at all, did they? We just know nothing. The Envoy page did not say it was splitting people up. Oh, interesting. I didn't even realize it until somebody brought it up here in chat. I didn't even remember that. I feel like more people would have talked about this if this was a thing. I feel like nobody said anything about this. Look at the Envoy video. It's worded differently. I love when they do that. Look, you did. Mobile usually has the video or the blog in the background, right? Mobile gamer, I think. Oh, I'm in my studio. That's a problem. Did you? Okay. New donation system, power core first. Let's go to Diamond Dave. See what you got. There's another Diamond Dave. We need the original. Oh, perfect. That one sucks. Okay. This. This. Um, the next leaderboard comes. Bring the heat. This event includes several leaderboards, which will provide more opportunities to fight the ultimate reward. So keep an eye out. You did say it differently. It's worded slightly different. So they're calling it multiple leaderboards. They didn't say that people were separated. Um, so it definitely was a little bit different. It will include several leaderboards. Yep, nope, they definitely said it differently. That's a big wording difference. For this specific event, players will be split into multiple leaderboard groups. And says this event includes several leaderboards. That is so much different on how that's described. um, that is wild. That sucks that they gave you guys the different info. I hate when they do that. I had the same complaint for the Amazing Avengers because that was the blog was so wrong compared to your guys' document. Um, your guys' document was so much more accurate than the blog was. They didn't even include the Twitch drops in the Envoy version. I think that deserves a video. I probably will make a video. I'm probably gonna go eat first. I think we're gonna raid DNA, and then I'm gonna go eat, and then I think I'll work on a video tonight. Probably, and it'll probably go out in the morning. I'll put something out because it is a big deal, and we'll talk about it. I'll probably mention the Raid Shadow Legends stuff, and I'm not gonna make it an up in arms thing, but I definitely want to talk about it. I think it's interesting. We'll see how it all plays out. I'm gonna ask people for pictures because I want to see everybody. I want to see the leaderboards. I want to see what everybody else has. And this goes back to some of the conversations that some of the community was upset about, which was the A/B testing for Phantom Rider, right? I think it was Phantom Rider, right? When all the debacle was going on, people were seeing Phantom Rider at different price points for very different shard amounts, and the price pointing didn't make sense at all. You're pretty sure Boilon's showed it in the data mines. I may have to go dig through Boilon's videos. I think I can usually find it in his Discord too. Boy, love my butt. Boylot has some useful information from time to time. $4 billion damage. Saying leaks. Amazing Avengers Mighty Blade. Got here. Let's see the part I watched. Play Blitz with Toxin. Okay, that's the monthly, right? That's the monthly stuff. Winter's Wrath milestone. Let me look at his Discord real quick. If I can find it, I'll show it to you guys. Hold on. Okay, let's see what we got here. Battle Pass. Golden Brilliance, which looks like Sentry. Exploding Sun Strike. I'm not showing you guys this because my Discord's a mess. I'm looking to see if I find anything we can copy and show you. Century City coming back. Teams with offers Maestro. Mighty Charge milestone. What was that? Oh, that was the old one. Did he not find the Angel one? It doesn't look like he data mined the Angel one. What I can tell. All right, guys. I think this is a good one. I think we've got enough information that we're gonna try to do some stuff. Thank you everybody that hung out and just we dug through everything. Um, Definitely stay tuned for tomorrow. Tomorrow sounds interesting. I didn't realize that this blog had so much hidden stuff in it. But let's go ahead and raid out. We'll go send everybody over to DNA. We'll say hi. We got DNA. Looks like he's just staring at Crucible right now, 30 minutes in. So it looks like a perfect time to send everybody on over that direction. Yeah, thanks for hanging out, guys. It was a lot of fun. So we'll see. We'll see what tomorrow brings. And definitely stay tuned for a video coming out. Thank you, Diamond Dave, for your video. I very much enjoyed it.